Hades.
Uh,
Real fun, real fun.
I
I
missed
want.
what boon you had.
Do you get more cantrips as you level up as a wizard?
What'd you miss?
Yes.
What boon you had.
Oh, thank God.
The Hermes one where you move
But
faster.
do you just
The
not
dash one.
deal with
Mhm.
only knowing so many?
Well, I have all of the cantrips. The issue is I can only have 3 active at a time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like there's a few that I want to have active all the time that I just can't
Yeah,
because other ones are better.
yeah. Anyway, time to paste this, I guess, in shameless self-promotion.
Yeah.
Um,
Which Adam has been using
which
too.
Adam's been using, yeah. I don't give a shit. It's shameless
I was like,
self-promotion.
yeah. I was like, I mean, that is the correct place to put it,
That
so
is
why
the
not?
correct place to put it, yes. Da-da-da-da.
my phone was giving me notifications. I'm like, what am I getting notifications for? Oh, it's for our own live stream.
I got another Facebook ad again on a D&D game about the fact that OnlyFans was a cooking app.
That's just such a hilariously specific ad.
It really is. It's like legitimately, hey, cook with your friends.
Cook with your friends. In the nude.
That sounds unsafe.
I mean, cooking in the nude just sounds unsafe. The relevance of friends there is a little bit different. Anyway, so it's been 34 days according to the last stream we had on here. So, who wants to...
Recap?
Recap.
Not me.
We beat the wizard, and then we beat all of the wrong animals that he turned into.
The most annoying of which were the fish.
Yes, but I was able to track them.
Hazel, our fish
Did
detector.
we not defeat the bugs that went into the earth, though?
No, it wasn't bugs. It was like remnant magic or something, right, Mr. DM?
Oh fuck.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think we got everything, right? As far as we could tell, anyway.
As far as you could tell anyway, yeah.
And last I knew, the married couple was still running off into the forest in terror, so maybe we should try and get them.
It can only go so far.
It's been over 10 minutes, so... you'd have to try finding them. But, I mean... This is their island.
What direction did they go?
South.
Probably back to their home.
Alright.
No,
well,
they were
then
getting
let's
away from the
figure that way
warlock.
then.
They would have, like, run far away.
I mean, how big is this island? How far could they have gone?
At least 10 minutes.
Also, it's an island that they probably know better than us. So by the
Yeah.
time we found them, they're probably going to already have worked their way back.
Either that, or they're like hiding.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
that's what
I
I'm
think-
afraid of.
Either
that they would be
way.
Well,
hiding.
I think a good bet would be to head back to the village and inform
Yeah,
them.
I mean, that seems like a good move, regardless. Do
That
we?
does make sense.
We don't really have anything we can use as proof here, do we?
We have his robes? Right? When he, like, collapsed into a pile of wrong animals?
Yeah, we have his
Left his clothes or something?
We could take those, I guess.
Yeah, because I took all the magic items out of it.
Yeah, right? He
Yeah,
had
'cause
magic
we all-
cigarettes.
Oh
and-
yeah.
Yeah, we all traded items and then fought with Oakley about stealing.
Which I still maintain none of you should have had suspicion towards me, except for the people who were using meta knowledge.
You also were still lying, so...
They had no reason to doubt that.
I mean...
I had not stolen before.
Okay, let's not have this argument again.
what we're going to
We had
say
it
is,
last time.
don't steal from the party or things the party will be splitting going forward, because that will lead you into being that guy.
I'm literally a klepto, and that's the knowledge they used. They didn't know that, is the thing. That's why they doubted me. Because they were using the meta knowledge.
Well, haven't
that they...
Haven't your
Then you shouldn't
teammates
have
been
told
with
us
you
that.
for months?
I hadn't stolen anything. I was trying to.
Then how are you a kleptomaniac? You've been here for 3 to 4 months and claim you're a kleptomaniac, but haven't stolen anything until now.
Because I fucking am bad at role playing, but I was trying to finally actually take something,
Okay.
and then they
Okay,
used meta
we had
knowledge.
this argument last time. Can we not have it
And
again?
we have already said,
Yeah.
I have just said, you can steal from other people, just don't be that person and steal from things that are meant for the party. Because regardless, you did say, I found 12 gold pieces, or whatever, silver pieces, which was a lie, and then they caught you in that lie, regardless.
Checked the lie for reasons they should not have.
You can tell when someone's lying.
I mean, yeah, in real life, sometimes you can just tell without even trying.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ash has a pretty high passive insight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, last time Ash's passive insight beat your roll, I'm pretty sure. So he didn't even have to actively look at you. He's just like, oh, you said something that's a lie, and I just happened to pick it up.
I don't believe you.
Except I constantly lie. So I would know how to not look like it.
Then
That's
get
not
a,
what the
get a
roll
better
says.
deception check.
The
But-
role said we could tell you were lying.
Can I also
The
add,
rule said you could tell
not
if it
everyone
could be
knew that
checked
you were
in the
lying.
first place.
right? Not everyone passed this check. So those of us who did not pass the check did not know you were lying. That's why, before I said what I had said, before you handed us the coins, I had said, okay, cool. Madison was the only one that got it off the gate from the rule. Then Trevor did his passive perception. So only one of us knew in the game.
So we
So
killed the wizard.
only
we
one of
killed
us
the
knew you were
animals.
lying. So you're good. Just because Madison's character knows doesn't mean that all of us know. You could have gotten away with it by doing something sneaky with Madison's character if she didn't call you out. But it's fine. You owned up to it.
Can we move on? So about the wizard.
Okay. I was just bringing up the fact that our characters aren't pissed. That we're all still friends.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So should we take these here robes back to the village?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do that.
We can go let them know that they have a couple that's currently running through the woods.
Yeah.
I'm sure we
Hopefully
could-
they're better at finding them than we would be.
I'm sure we can help them find them. We just have no clue
Where to
about
even look?
any of this terrain at all.
Yeah, because I mean, chances are decent. Somebody in the village is going to be like, oh yeah, I bet they went to this spot. I can take you.
Exactly.
Alright, after murdering the wizard man and all his wrong animals, the fish,
Stabby, rip, stab,
which
stab.
you made fun of and ended up being the hardest thing for you guys to end up taking care of.
I didn't think they could flop so quickly to the river.
You make your way back to town, where everyone's very kind of up in a commotion, kind of huddled around, just kind of the center of this wedding that's kind of off in the middle of the dance floor, and you can kind of see a few people notice you as you guys walk up, slightly disheveled from the encounter. You're mostly in good health, a little battered and bruised.
Yeah, I don't think anybody took super serious
Uh,
damage.
I think
But
Fell
Willow
asleep.
kind of got
That's
beat
about
up by
it.
the fish.
That's right.
as you kind of make your way into town holding the robes,
Take the
the-
exclamation point, hon.
group of people kind of parts, and you see the couple just covered basically head to toe in mud, tattered, like wedding dress tattered and stained, thorns in the wife's hair. You see what you can assume to be the bridal party, picking out thorns and burrs and trying to brush the tangles and knots out of her hair, while the husband just kind of tries to console her to the best of his ability. Just sobbing, just like, why did this almost happen to us? We made it, but it was still scary. Panting, sobbing. What are you guys doing?
I'm trying to remember, was there like an elder or somebody like that we were doing the job for?
Yes, there was.
Could you remind us of what the wording was of the actual quest? I do not remember. Like, were we...
I believe it's in notes.
Oh. It was a more expensive one.
Eastern European village besieged by a terrible wizard, attacking and kidnapping.
500 gold pieces.
Okay, so we should probably check with the whoever hired us and then go home.
Dimitri, from
Seems
the
like
looks of it in the
Dimitri?
notes.
Yep. So you can kind of see he's one of the people just kind of not making the crowd swarm this very frightened girl, and he kind of hobbles over on his walking stick and goes, "Is the deed done?"
It is.
It is.
And whoever is holding the robes holds them out. These are his robes. He turned into animals when we killed him, so this is what we have.
Turned in. Strange.
We killed those too.
Strange folks with their strange magics. As he
We killed the animals also.
As he kind of takes the clothes, the overcoat and thing, kind of goes, kind of under his breath. Oh, these are nice. These might fit my son.
You ever get hand-me-downs from an evil warlock?
And he kind of looks over. It's a little tattered, but that's fine. And he says, "All right. Well, I believe you deserve payment, but I don't have it on me at the moment. If you just mill around and eat some of this food that's been left over, people lost their appetite seeing a bride and groom kidnapped on their wedding days. I'll be back in a few minutes." He kind of hobbles off towards his office, his home, carrying the clothes before returning a few minutes later with a pretty sizable pouch of gold, which he hands. Just kind of puts out for whoever to grab.
I'll grab it.
Sure. Yeah.
Hazel takes the money and he says, 500 gold pieces plus 50 more for organizational fees. So that should be plenty for what we had asked about. Thank you, young'uns. Thank you for everything you've done. And it turns and hobbles away before.
So is it like nighttime? Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember. Do we have rooms or anything?
No.
We just got here a couple hours ago, huh?
Yes.
So we should probably find some place to stay. I guess we could just set back out tonight, but it seems like it makes more sense to go in the morning.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how happy the birds would be.
Not
Cam,
everyone has an owl.
Everybody has an owl.
I know we don't like everything is translated for us. Do accents carry over? Like, are all these people speaking with Russian accents, or is it just sound normal?
It just sounds kind of normal.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe last time we stated that none of us have accents to each other.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I was just... Oh yeah, because we all hear it in our
In your
original
native
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything is dubbed.
Yeah.
Very high quality.
God, I hope we at least got
term.
good dub actors.
Damn it.
Okay, I just wanted to know for context.
I will go up to the bride and offer my apologies for the trying night that she's been through, and then say a quick poem about cleanliness is close to godliness that will help with through the use of prestidigitation will help deburr and dethrone her or thorn her. So
Throwing her, knocks her out of her chair.
yep, I'm the bride now.
I'm the pretty princess. She kind of jerks back in shock as all the mud and nasty that's kind of coating her kind of sloughs off onto the ground. She just kind of freaks out a little bit, like, ah! Are you one of them too? Just kind of cowering backwards.
I mean, I could clean your clothes.
And murder you in a few different ways, but we won't talk about that.
Listen, she doesn't need to know what I did to help kill the warlock.
And she just kind of goes, "Sorry, it's been a long night. It's been a very long night.
Yeah, nope, makes sense. Makes sense.
It felt like a month." And
Hey, Mr. Groom, would you like to be cleaner too?
he's kind of okay with it at the moment. He's not nearly as tattered and destroyed as she is, as he wasn't running through the woods in a wedding gown. And is more familiar with the terrain and things. He's a little dirty and scratched up, but he's not concerned about it.
Have a fun night.
He's mostly just kind of eyeing the
Mazel
dinner
tov.
table.
Food
he
still
might
looks
be
great.
hungry.
Yeah. I think we should get the food going again. Party. Woo.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll go take a finger sandwich or whatever.
Hazel goes over and just kind of
Something with cucumbers in it,
little
probably.
cucumber sandwich.
Yeah, I don't think we got to eat a lot because we were busy conspiring about the warlock before, so I feel like we're all a little hungry.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably that thing where, we've been doing other things, we didn't even notice it before, but now we are, starving.
Now you're like, oh, we don't have a place to stay. We're hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Several
talk.
of you are probably still a little wet.
Yes.
I'm gonna go talk to.
Oh, I can
I think
unwetify people.
I think we prestidigitated.
Oh yeah,
We
you're
did.
Yeah.
Because
Most
Trevor and
useful
I
cantrips.
had animal guts on us and stuff.
bug
Yeah,
guts.
And I know Kaede went chest deep in mud.
Kaede, Oakley,
Yeah.
Willow went swimming.
This was a little bit of a nasty one.
I'm gonna go
question.
talk.
I don't quite know everyone's skills yet. Does anyone know a way to help put the bride's dress back together? I do feel a little bit bad about that.
I do.
Someone must
As-
have mending, right?
Kaede's gonna grab the dress and her quill.
Wait. I stopped Kaede real quick. I'm like, wait, gently. She's still a little bit shook, and she didn't
Oh,
like getting
I
clean.
also-
Oh, it's on her. I feel like it took
Yeah,
her
she's
till
still
then.
wearing it.
Right?
Yeah.
Kaede saunters over, starts kind of grabs the hem and goes, "This won't work."
I try to get Kaede to slow down a little bit, and it also frantically explain to the bride, don't worry, she's also cool, she's also good. We're just gonna try and help fix you up a little bit. So no worries.
And she's essentially gonna draw the stitchings and cast mending with each one.
Swoosh, 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 swoosh. After about a minute, the fake stitches kind of dissolve as the real fabric threads re-entangle and retwine, fixing the majority of the smaller rips and tears. There's a couple that are a bit too big to be mended with mending. Will have to be patched up by hand, but the vast majority of the work has been done. And she kind of looks at he's like, huh, handy. That's a neat trick. And also, a little
We're
bit
gonna
more
visit this
calmed
village
down.
again, and the bride is gonna be like a high-level wizard or something.
She's actually becoming a lich.
this
Here's
is
this
the start
too.
of her rise to lichdom.
Yeah.
What's the
Eventually,
temperature?
we will get a quest that is to kill her.
It's a little
Is-
chilly.
It's cold.
Like 60
Okay.
somethings, 65.
Okay.
But there's some torches and braziers and things to light up the wedding and keep it a little bit toastier, so it's pretty comfortable.
I mean, there's a lot of people here. There's some body heat and stuff.
I'm gonna grab the bride and groom 2 glasses of water and prestidigitate them to make them cold and just
two
bring it to them afterward.
very ice cold glasses of water in there.
They also 100% taste like Coca-Cola.
The groom kind of takes a
You know,
kind of takes
But
a
still
sip and
look
goes,
like water.
"What is this juice?"
It's called Coca-Cola.
I hate the idea that with prestidigitation we could be like, oh man, I'm really craving some Cheetos.
I mean, it says chill, warm, or flavor up.
You're not wrong.
This comfort
Jordan.
from home.
It would,
Are you
it would
sure
actually
it's not
totally
Pepsi
make sense
Clear?
in this context.
Pepsi Clear, that's so much better.
Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
Crystal? Yes.
It's like this
Um.
is. I feel like this would be better with some spring water. It's a little strange as he kind of sets it down on the ground, and the bride's kind of like just kind of holding it, just kind of enamored with the fixes in her dress. At this point, people are
She
kind
barely
of
even realizes that she's holding a glass of water.
yeah. At this point, people are kind of dispersing a bit more now and celebrating less the wedding, but more the decimation of the oppressive caster who has been kidnapping and murdering people from their village.
Not being haunted by this terrible wizard.
Yeah. And begin
Also-
eating, drinking, and the like.
Something I completely forgot is that this entire time, Kaede has a faint Susanoo around her because she casts mage armor. So I don't know how everybody else feels about that. That they're essentially these like a floating rib cage, you know, around Kaede right
Most people are just kind of like, yeah, let's not deal with that.
now.
Okay, not sure what's going on with that. I'm just gonna move on.
Just gonna move on and eat some of this delicious roasted bird. Get some salad
Hold
and
on,
soup.
I missed something. Why'd you roll a stealth check?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah.
Wait, me earlier? Yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah.
just testing the picture.
Oh,
Anyway, you guys kind of eat, munch up, fill your stomachs, clean yourselves up. Kind of awkwardly hanging at the fringes of this party.
I'm just hoping desperately that someone goes, "Do you need a place to stay?"
Pretty
Well,
much.
I kept trying to say I wanted to go talk to the
Yeah,
I don't
Kaede was like about to go talk to Dimitri about a place for us to stay, and I like grabbed her by the collar. I was like, "Wait, no, fix the bride's dress."
Yeah, that's almost exactly it.
Dimitri, or Kaede with a plate of food, walks up to Dimitri.
We were wondering if you had a place we could sleep. We don't know if it's a great idea to take the skies back yet.
And he's like, "Oh, well, my apologies, yes. It's not, we can't offer you a bed or anything. We don't have an inn in our village. It's not big enough to justify it, but you can just roll out your bedrolls in my basement. They'll be a roof over your head and a little bit warmer than sleeping outside."
That will be well appreciated.
He's like, "Oh, it's the least
Something
we can
about
do."
rolling out the bedrolls in somebody's basement just gives such strong slumber party vibes. I just had like 20 flashbacks at once.
Oh, tell whoever cooked this. This is delicious. This food is amazing.
He kind of leans forward and goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. This stuff is really bland."
I was gonna say,
and
I feel like Kaide already said that after making it taste like KFC.
100%. As she holds her hand over whatever food he has, it casts prestidigitation just to make it taste much better.
He kind of reaches into a little strip of meat and kind of goes, "This tastes very hot, spicy. What have you done?" Let's hear it.
Give me back my bland food.
Sips
That's right.
us wide.
We're Eastern Europe / Russia. We don't know how to flavor things.
And she's Asian, so
The
it's
only-
definitely hot.
The only spice we have is paprika.
We have salt.
How are the tables decorated?
They're really not. It's
Oh, okay. So there's not like
there's like
They're
tables laid
decorated
out
to
with
the fact that
tablecloths.
there's tables.
some white tablecloth.
I guess it is fantasy, isn't it? So it's not gonna look like a real person's wedding.
It's also a very
Yeah.
poor village.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
fair.
there's probably like some candles on the tables, right? For light, if nothing else.
Well, that's everything else is torches and braziers. They don't really need the.
There's probably candles on like the front table just to
I
add
put some bread
ambiance.
in my pocket
Okay.
to go.
Oakley.
I get a doggy
O-
bag.
Oakley fills their purse with some leftovers. Takes a spare napkin and rolls some breadsticks up.
Yeah, I fill my purse with the breadsticks.
Yep.
Excuse me. Yeah, when she flavors their dishes, she essentially draws a salt shaker in the air and just salts it.
Heck yeah.
Meanwhile, the person who actually cooked it was like rude.
She doesn't know what I'm doing.
It's a potluck. Everyone brought a dish to pass.
So everyone's upset, man. If I was at a potluck and I saw someone start sprinkling like salt and pepper on my dish, I'd be pissed.
Magic salt and pepper.
Yeah, conjuring salt and pepper to sprinkle.
Does it become physical, or does it stay like a 2D image in the sky?
It fades.
I meant like, does it become 3D or 2D? Is it just a 2D drawing in the sky, or does it become a physical salt shaker?
I'm not sure. I haven't really.
I have been imagining them as just 2D flat images, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of how
too.
I've been imagining them.
But I think you can interact with it. Like, you can grab the 2D flat salt shaker and use it.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking like it was whenever they moved their quill, that moved it. So like you couldn't touch it.
So you just move the quill over and shake the
shake.
salt.
Shake
the salt shaker.
Shake. Like with the Band-Aid and stuff, I imagine it's just been like ink basically slapped onto things.
Yeah,
Or, like,
exactly.
some
Except for
gas.
when she like grabs energy, but then that isn't really solid anyway,
Yeah.
and it's more of just changing where it is.
Exactly. Anyway, the evening after a while begins to kind of wind down. The bride and groom get their first dance in. Very late
Yeah.
at night.
Well, I'm gonna draw their first dance.
Okay.
Aw.
I'm trying to think what. I guess are you proficient in like performance or something?
I believe I am proficient in performance.
Okay, make a performance check.
I am. Yes. There is also an artist kit.
You're proficient with an artist kit. Go ahead.
I don't think I have that.
Oh.
I would think I was going to talk to you about it.
I
at some
mean,
point.
that's something you could do with your quill, like flat out, or
yeah.
whatever, because it doesn't require ink. So, you wouldn't really need that. But yeah, go ahead and make a performance check.
Ooh, natural 20.
It's a very nice
Nice.
image. How anime is it?
I don't think it's that anime. I think she's honestly trying to make like a really touching drawing of
Okay.
this situation.
You've got like the backlight. You've got them kind of silhouetted. The torches and the food in the background. The crowd kind of surrounding, clapping along. Kind of dancing and jeering in the background. You even kind of way in the way back, kind of draw your party, kind of awkwardly shuffling by the drinks table. or before you finish it, about probably 20 minutes or so after the dance is done. If you kind of sketch it out and things, fill it
I'm
in with
gonna
a
use the
little bit
bathroom.
of
I'll be right back.
color.
And then I'm just gonna give it to them as a wedding present.
You kind of walk over to the bride and groom, and the bride sees it and just kind of starts sobbing. She's like, "This is such a nice present after such a stressful evening." And she kind of grabs it, holds it to her chest, and just kind of begins full out ugly crying, just incomprehensible tears of joy.
She's
as-
gonna mess up the ink.
Kaede kneels down and hugs her and just starts bawling with her.
the husband kind of awkwardly comes over, seeing you hugging his newly wedded wife, and kind of pats you on the back as he awkwardly hugs you both, trying to console his wife, rubbing her back. And it's kind of, it's okay, it's okay, patting you on the back awkwardly. And then he's kind of whispering to his wife, "It's such a lovely photo, babe. It's so beautiful.
It's so amazing. I love it.
Best day of my life." And she's just absolutely weeping. Before eventually she kind of stops hugging you and just kind of looks at her husband, stops crying for a brief moment, and then just goes, "I love you so much." And just kind of hugs and squeezes him, and he kind of says, "I love you too." Kind of scoops her up and kind of awkwardly shuffles back, like, "Yeah, I think that's the end of her night. She's not drinking anything else." He thanks you for the portrait before carrying her into their home.
I go get my friends and tell them about where we can stay.
Kaede, were you crying recently?
Shut up!
Your eyes look. Oh.
You don't know me.
Out of everyone, I do know Kaede the most.
It's like, out of everybody here, I know you the best.
Scanny informs everyone that you can sleep over in Dimitri's basement. The rest of the evening kind of winds down. The few people that care about saving the food kind of straggle along at the end and grab whatever leftovers in containers that they have from home and haul it into their houses before all that's left is empty serving vessels and empty ceramic serving vessels and wooden bowls, a couple gravy dishes and things. Before you all turn in for the night and wake up in the morning. And I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Alright, guys, I think we did great. I mean, maybe we could have possibly tried to fight the warlock before the wedding and spared them some trauma, but,
All's well that ends well.
Also, wasn't,
You know it'd be like that sometimes.
wasn't the wedding today, though? We
Yeah,
just
I
got
mean, like,
here.
we met the warlock on the bridge outside of town, so, like, we could have tried, but I was honestly quite worried about getting the rest of the town, like, caught in the crossfire. And, definitely thought, based off of the story I was familiar with, that, kind of thought that we'd be able to sweet-talk the warlock a little bit more.
Yeah,
Oops.
We got done.
we got it done, though. We killed them. I fell
And-
asleep, but I didn't really get hit.
Go ahead.
And the,
Yeah, I forgot you were asleep.
Yeah.
You all can take a long rest.
Woo!
Oh, I love long rests.
Oh, I was almost at spell slots.
that makes sense.
What's that? That's
GLR.
GLR. Okay. It didn't.
Make sure you do a space. It's exclamation G space LR.
You can also do just exclamation point LR.
Oh, that's an alias. We don't have that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
I just did
Oh,
it.
did you do it?
It would be cool if
Yeah,
I
I
could
made
just
it for you and then
type
told you
it
to just
in
copy
general.
and paste it.
Oh, I don't remember ever adding that.
And what's it like not having spell slots?
Oh, we did add it. Okay, it is a server alias.
Yeah, because I kept doing it and it kept telling me I was wrong, and I got pissed. So I made the alias, but then couldn't add it because I don't have the dragon speaker tag.
That's funny. I mean, I don't even have that either.
But you're
But I,
you're the
Owner.
owner. Yeah.
yeah.
Not dead.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Coyote
You also have
cried.
to roll DM.
I know. I have the stream on
Okay.
Oh.
my phone
that's
so
handy.
that I can keep up with the magic. Also, I can see that you guys can see what I'm playing. Fuck.
Yes, we can.
That's fine.
I want to see what you're playing.
Anyway, you all wake up in the morning, in the basement of this man's home, to.
Is it damp?
No, it's not like an underground basement. Basement is in first level. I should
Okay.
say.
Oh.
He's not making you stay in the cellar.
I mean, I kind of thought that's what he was implying.
That's what I was picturing.
True. It's something my family always referred to my grandma's like first story as the basement, and I never knew why. And that's just a habit that's stuck. Because it wasn't underground in the slightest. The entire thing was above ground.
Like it was just the ground floor of her home.
Which is the ground floor, and we just called it the basement. Because I guess it's easier than saying, go to the ground floor, go to the first floor, go downstairs, or downstairs. But that could also imply actual basement. But regardless, you all wake up to the smell of boiling and cooking eggs and some fried potatoes in the like. A little bit of fresh bread set out on a table for you all.
A nice hearty breakfast.
A nice hearty breakfast, yeah. Presume you munch up and make your way back to your barbs, who have been well seated and taken care of while you guys were busy the previous night.
I don't remember which like faction or whatever I chose and what bird I have now.
I believe you chose I think you have a falcon or a hawk. One of those two.
I think I did the hawk.
I think you did the
Have an owl.
I have a raven or a crow or something.
I have the owl.
It's a
you
raven
also have
because
an
I
owl
chose it for
friend?
the aesthetic.
I do. Her name is Hedwig.
Mine is
So white owl.
Archimedes.
Oh. What
She's
do I
a
have
great
then?
horned.
Well, he also has. He was just saying he has
Oh.
a raven. It's not an
Yeah.
exclusive thing. But
Heads.
he chose it for the aesthetic because he's edgy. Anyway, you all grab your trusty mounts. Some of you unaware of what species of bird they are for a brief moment until you see them.
Wait, which one's mine?
Someone roll a d10 for me. Or a d12, sorry.
Excuse me.
And then someone just roll me any die. Any die above a d1.
I was gonna do a D33.
Alright. So, it took you about 10 days to get here. In the time that you've been gone, it was a little bit of a shorter route back, about 6 days. At this point, the autumn breeze is beginning to, or autumn weather is beginning to kind of heavily set in. Leaves are beginning to change and things before you make it back to town. you return to the hunter's headquarters. Presumably, you've split the 500 between you, and already
50 for the fees, right?
and 50 for yes, the fees going to Gilbert to take care of.
I'll turn the fees into Gilbert.
Turn the fees into Gilbert. Okay. What are you guys doing? It's probably mid to late afternoon at this point.
Do we want to take a day or two off before looking for more jobs? You know, just we've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, I can do with some downtime.
We didn't do much though. Kind of just flew there and fought one guy.
Well, but
Yeah,
but it still took like 2 weeks.
Eh.
Flying is still tiring, you know.
Travel's exhausting.
I mean, if you really want Kaide, we can start looking at the jobs. I just thought it'd be nice
mean,
for,
we could-
you know,
we could
us to
take
get
a
a
look at
nice
what's available.
bath.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll defer to what the group wants. I just think we can keep going.
I mean, I can
Let's-
keep going.
Let's
I
look,
could
let's
also
look at the jobs and see if anything like really draws us to it.
Crash.
I mean, we
into-
could take at least a couple days break.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, we at least take today to, you know, like rest, clean up a little bit, like
Buy stuff for next adventure.
Oh yeah,
stretch
we
our
should
legs
probably spread
from-
out that money.
Yeah, a little bit.
Very easily, it's just 100 gold pieces to each of you.
Yeah.
I have an alchemy jug.
I thought you meant that we should spread that money out throughout the town by buying things.
Stimulate
Well, I
the
mean that
economy.
too, but
Trina, you do not have an alchemy jug. It's one of your 2 infusions you can make. Have you looked at the artificer closely?
Not close enough to know what an alchemy jug is.
Well, an alchemy jug is a
To make
magic
your
item.
mayonnaise.
It's the mayonnaise one.
Yes.
So basically, the way the artificer is, you have a list of things you could make, and you can have 2 of those things made at a time right now. So, like, you know, I think it's the alchemy jug, the returning throwing weapon thing. Basically,
I only have alchemy jug listed. Oh no, alchemy jug, returning weapon, mind sharpener, and enhanced weapon.
yes. So you can make an alchemy jug. You can have 2 of these active a day, basically, and then the mind sharpener is it has 4 charges. When you fail a saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, you can use it to use your reaction to expend 1 charges to succeed instead. It gets 1d4 charges daily at dawn. The alchemy jug can make a few different items of alchemy things.
Reason.
And then you had the enhanced weapon. It's just is a +1 weapon basically.
Mhm.
And then the
Returning weapon, it comes back to me.
yes, the returning weapon is a +1 weapon for any weapon with the thrown property. So like a dagger, a javelin, that kind of thing.
pretty neat. Thor would like that.
With the alchemy jug, you can make acid, basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, fresh water, salt water, or wine. And it can produce different amounts of those depending on what you choose once a day.
Yes, I know that one.
Yeah,
because
that's
I've had that
that's
one.
the alchemy jug. So, you can have 2 of those active at a time, basically, and you can change those daily.
Awesome.
You just know those ones. As you level up, you get access to different things you can take. Like, at level 6, you learn 2 more. And then you can have 3 active.
Cool.
It's different.
You might be able to change which ones you know whenever you gain a level. Yes, you can. So whenever you gain a level, you can replace an infusion you know with a new one. I just picked ones that you would be able to do, like, sort of alchemically.
Yeah.
At first, but as time goes on, you can change them to more fancy magic things. Basically. So.
Thank you for explaining that, Cameron.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
We have to go take the 50 to the guild, right? The 50 gold to the guild, and then we can check the other quests while we're there.
Yeah, I mean, we may, regardless of what we wind up doing, we may as well see what's on the board.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just thinking we need to give them the 50 gold anyway.
Yeah.
I was
makes
saying you
sense.
guys have already returned and done that.
Oh, okay. Then
So you guys are back.
then
You
the
basically
quest
know
board
one
might be
place in the city. So,
right next to us.
yeah. You guys are like in the basement, in the first floor, the ground floor. Which henceforth I'm going to just refer to as the basement. And then anything below the basement as the basement's basement or the cellar.
Okay.
Until I actually refer to a basement as a basement and you guys think, oh, we're on the ground floor, then I'm like, my bad. So
And it's like, I climb out the window.
how
I have a
what window?
question.
You're in the basement. The first
I
floor
need-
window.
I have a question. Do I need dual weapon fighting to do better with fighting with two weapons, or can I just not at all without dual weapon fighting?
I mean, you can use two weapons
Okay.
without it. It's just not great without
It
it.
probably won't go well.
You just don't get all your proficiencies.
Yeah,
You
just
don't get it.
You just don't get your proficiency bonus.
I don't know if it's the proficiency bonus or if it's you don't get the ability score to damage, and it has to be
It's
a light
both, I
weapon.
think.
I'll
I'm pretty sure it's both.
I'll have to look at the feat.
Is that like if you dual wield without the feat, you can it's a base roll with the d20 and then a base roll with the damage. So if you do a d6 of damage, you're doing a d6
If I'm not
damage.
trying to like, so even if I am just trying to hit with one or the other, just have access to both of them.
Then that doesn't matter.
Then that
Correct.
doesn't matter if you're not making
Okay.
a second attack with your offhand. But then
Yes,
then
that is correct.
you're just carrying two weapons.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's fine.
He just wants more knives.
He just wants to carry two knives.
I just want to look cool, basically. I want to be able to. I want to be able to choose between which weapon I hit with, based on what I'm trying to do, and I just want access to both of them. But I'm not going to try and hit with both of them. Is the thing.
I mean, you don't need a feat for that at all, or to have the other
Cool
one out.
beans.
You can
That's
just
what I'm
have
doing then.
two weapons.
Bad.
Like, I'm not so concerned about.
More of a cosmetic
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Anyway,
For access, really, it literally just helps me, if anything.
Yeah, you could throw one and then have the other already in your hand.
yeah.
I get it.
I mean, you can draw a weapon as part of your move anyway.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but there are also some cases where you might have to use that free action for something else. Pick something off the ground or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe, but that seems like a very situational edge case.
Yeah.
Regardless, yeah, no, you're fine.
Cool beans.
Okay, so you're gonna go check out the quest board. So there is. That's the wrong chat. There's the one previous that is still up there about the temple, and then a reposting of a quest that Willow, Oakley, and Hazel had seen in the past, but Kaede and Ash have not, about protecting a guy who's going and doing a historical research of a abandoned town and castle. That one is paying
Which-
significantly more.
And I think that was over leveled for us at the time, right?
Yes, because you were not you guys weren't actually admitted in yet. So, now you would be able to choose it if you would like, although it would probably be quite difficult. It would probably be more difficult than the other quest, the takeout.
We're allowed to take it, but that doesn't mean that we should.
We
So
should.
is the
Which is too bad, because that one sounds way more interesting to me than the other
I
one.
mean, we could still do it.
Does the guild have like a recommendation about like whether or not we should take
Like a Black Diamond quest, or...
triple black diamond, green triangle?
Give me a second. Let me get my ranks out, and I can
we have
tell
the,
you what rank
just
you
them
guys are.
the things posted as well, so I can read them.
Well, the one is still there, the thing about the Eastern Temple.
Okay.
Is it in? We had a. Here it is.
Yeah,
It
I
was
just
put
found
in
it, too.
reference instead of in notes. Okay, so you guys are companion in arms at the moment. When you were pledges, you were squires, and this is a sergeant level quest.
Wasn't the last one Sergeant too?
I don't think so. I think it was companion.
Okay.
But you could go up to
Might be able to tackle that.
yeah. You can go basically a level above. So if you're companion,
Oh.
you can go sergeant. If you're a sergeant, you can do staff sergeant.
Okay.
I posted the list in notes.
Thanks, JJ.
The Eastern Temple is a companion level, and then this one is a sergeant. It is paying 2,500 gold pieces, but is a
Oh.
noted commitment for an indeterminate period of time.
Oh.
So that's the one with the helping the researcher.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that one has
Okay.
been put back on the board after someone has taken it in the past.
Oh,
And
Do they
presumably
fail?
not completed it.
And presumably not completed it. You don't know what the
Is-
context is, because it's just been
Is
put
there a time limit? Like, do we know how long these things typically stay on the wall? Like, do you think we could take the other one and then be back in time?
It really depends on how
I mean,
the rest of the guild is kind of
the-
feeling.
The temple has to have been on the board for a few weeks
Yeah,
at this
it's-
point, right? Because it was here like when we first got
Yeah,
here.
it's been
so this must be something that nobody gives a shit to do.
yeah, it's nothing that
It
people are
only pays
super
200 gold pieces.
super interested in. It's just a recon mission that people aren't real.
I am a
upset
little interested. Is there somebody that we could talk to about like who puts these up to see if we can figure out why this more expensive mission was returned?
Gilbert's
Yeah,
the
can we
one
talk to
who
Gilbert or somebody?
who is like officially in charge of actually putting on the postings. Yeah, you could go.
Okay, so let's say that we're going to give him the 50 gold pieces and we'll ask him about it too.
Okay. You guys walk up the stairs, knock on his office door. Kind of get a big booming "come in" as you see him sitting at his desk, kind of with a pretty sizable tome and a quill, kind of marking out numbers and doing ledgers and things. Abacus, doing math. He kind of looks up and he says, "I figured it was you guys. Most people don't knock." They just...
Oh, are we weird for that?
Around here, the rest of the civilized folk, no. You're the least rowdy of my children here, basically. And I appreciate that. Anyway, how did the mission go?
Well,
Pretty good.
There was a lot more dangerous fish than we suspected, but you know, it worked.
Like,
it happened.
roughly 100% more dangerous fish than anticipated.
He
I
kind
thought
of,
it was only
Willow
like
bears that both of them.
65% more dangerous fish, and the rest were like squirrels and rats.
it depends on how many dangerous fish you were expecting. If you're expecting
None.
0 dangerous fish, then that's infinitely more dangerous fish than you were
How many I was
expecting.
expecting.
Yeah. He kind of sits there
Anyway, here's the
writing,
guild's fees for
doing
that.
his notes, and he kind of looks up and he says, "Oh, sorry. the fish caught me off guard there. He says, "Oh, thank you for this," and scribbles into his notebook, and he says, in the Waystone."
Did I have that as well? I can't remember.
One of us had it.
You all kind of go through your pockets trying to remember who had the
Whoever has
Waystone.
it gives it back.
Kind of shuffling on and give it back. He's like, "Oh, thank you very much," and kind of puts it back in the case with all the others. Takes the money and counts it out, stacks it up, adds some math, and he says, "Thank you. We're all done here then, it seems." As he gets back.
We had a quick little question about one of the jobs posted. The one about the researcher who needs help.
Oh,
It seems...
the reposting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
any
one.
idea why it was reposted?
He kind of looks down and says, "It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes when people get to a job and start scoping out the situation, everyone has things that they're not okay with, and this was one of the things that the Jeva who took this quest decided that it was not on her desires. We have a policy
So
of...
she is back now then.
She's somewhere. I don't know if she's here or if she's out around town, but yeah, she's back at the moment, to my knowledge.
So if we want to know more
would it be
information
chill
about
if we
it,
asked her about her, or is this like a private thing?
He says, they don't have to tell me if they don't want to, but if you want to ask, that's up to you. If she doesn't want to tell you the details, that's her prerogative, I suppose. But if you plan on taking it, it'd be probably a wise decision to know more about what's happening.
Did she tell you anything at all about it, or no?
Not much. Other than she was scoping out the castle and had hit some notes and things that she was not okay with and decided to make her way back. And return here. Luckily, she never actually didn't actually take the client with her. So that's what's going on there.
Oh, so she never even met the client.
She met him. She's just never escorted him there because she wanted to see what was going on without putting him in any danger beforehand. This is my understanding of the situation. Will you guys be around long? You plan on heading out right away?
I think we're
Here
gonna
for a
take at
couple of
least a
days.
day or two.
Says,
Day or
"Ah,
two, yeah.
excellent. Well, I'll leave you all to your business as he gets back, doing math, calculating, shifting his abacus.
Thanks, Gilbert, and I dab respectfully and leave.
He kind of looks at you very quizzically and... I don't understand the youth of today. As he gets back to his work.
Turns out Gilbert is also like an otherworlder, but he's just a boomer.
He's just a boomer. You all kind of shuffle out of his office, head back downstairs, and begin
That was
discussion.
one of the ones that we know, right?
Yeah, Jeva was the one who was with Flane originally.
Okay. And she's kind of like a badass, right?
Yeah, she's kind of badass. Sword fighter, light armor, that kind of thing.
Doesn't appreciate her shit.
Doesn't put up with Flane shit.
That's my girl.
See her around?
Make a couple
hear?
perception checks.
See for check. Oh, that's in notes. But I got 25.
You did get a 25.
Wow, everybody perceiving.
Everybody perceiving.
If
Do
she's here, we're
Kaide
finding
and
her.
Ash also know
You
Jeva?
you would not know Jeva, no.
I
Well,
was
that
just
makes
looking
sense. Well,
for
that explains
anyone.
why KAJ can't find her.
Yeah.
She's looking around and she sees a couple of people that look like they could be Jeva.
She sees you guys looking for people and starts looking also, but
Looking and just kind of pointing,
Doesn't
is
know
that
who you're
Jeva?
looking for.
Is that Jeva? Is that Jeva?
That girl over there looks like a Jeva.
You kind of look around, sitting down at the table, and don't see her anywhere. Not there's some people kind of arm wrestling and playing cards, drinking, the usual sort of rowdiness, but you don't see her to be any part of this at the moment.
What time was it again? Like mid-afternoon?
Mid-afternoon, probably 4, 5 o'clock at the latest.
Okay. So if we hang around here, people will probably be starting to come back for dinner and stuff, right?
You could assume, yeah.
I mean, do we want to just hang around here and see if we can find Jeva, and then we can hit the city tomorrow and maybe leave the next day?
Sure.
Sure.
Silly question. DM, what is around town?
You don't really know. Neither does really the
Hasn't-
party. You guys have done a little bit
I
of
thought we'd explored this city before.
You've done a little bit of
Like when we first got
exploring,
here.
but not really a ton. As for Kaede and Ash, they've never really been to this division or whatever, this part of the Hunters before. This is new territory for them.
Okay.
We also
Oh,
probably
like a
neither
new
of us
club
got
or
out
something?
much.
Yeah.
I can see that.
As for the three of you who have been here, you really haven't spent much time in the city for the most part. It's been kind of go, 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 with your initiation and,
I mean, first we had to get to the city.
yeah, first you had to get here, and then you had to go and prove yourself to a member, to be nominated for initiation, and then you had to go initiate, and then you met Kaede and Ash, and then you guys went and fought the evil wizard, and
now we're here.
now you're back, so you really haven't been around town too much. Hazel met a fortune teller that they were looking for, or whatever.
Nope. I've learned from other campaigns. I'm done with fortune tellers.
To try to buy some, I think it was some tarot cards
Well,
or
I
something.
mean, Hazel is a fortune teller. Like that's their background officially, I think.
Yeah, and kind of why I chose the subclass for them that I did. So
Like very very into tarot and astrology and all that type
Yeah.
of bullshit.
the read Hazel got, the guy was very much though a cold reader kind of person, less legitimate than one would hope.
I think he was good at it, if I remember.
Yeah, he was
right,
good
but
at it, but not quite what you were looking for necessarily.
Not actually mystical.
Yeah. As for Oakley, they wandered around the bad part of town a bit and didn't find anything because the player wasn't paying any attention the many times I mentioned things.
We did something.
Oh,
And then-
oh yeah, that was that time that the T-shirt my mom got him for Christmas gave him a bonus.
Yeah. And then I think Willow, I think you found a herb shop or something. You found like some
Yeah,
sort of green,
yeah, that was
greenery
back when I
place.
could make potions.
Yes. I mean, you still can
Yes.
make potions.
Shot.
But
Oh, I can still make potions?
Yeah.
yes.
You can make healing
I know,
potions.
I know I can make poisons. I just didn't see that on the features.
Well, because your
Cool.
proficiency you're an alchemist. It's kind of makes
Yes.
sense.
You have proficiency with alchemy tools, and
Yeah.
alchemy tools enabled you to make
to make healing
health
potions. Yeah.
for half the cost
Yeah.
in like a day of work or something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yes, I will be trying to do some things then.
Can you make potions on the back of a flying bird?
No. That's one that
Roll for that
I'm
shit.
going to say if anyone of this group could, it would be Willow, because she has
How good is Willow's dex?
she has an equestrian background. That being said,
Willow would not.
Willow would
because
not.
she has an equestrian
Question.
background.
Another
Yes.
question. Can I, at some point, cast Magnificent Mansion on the back of an owl?
I mean, it takes a minute, and there'd probably be a concentration check involved, but you can try. That's a question for when you get to like level 14 now.
Well, I don't mean like sitting on the back of an owl. I meant like putting the portal on the back of the owl.
Oh, before you get on the owl.
Yeah, and then like get on the owl, tell it where to go, and then get in the mansion.
You'll have to see what
That's what I
Now
happens.
that is traveling in style.
Exactly.
You'll have to see what happens. Anyway,
Anyway,
you guys are kind of sitting around shooting the shit, probably playing some cards or something. Talking about arguing
cool.
over the prevalence and importance of manga, the art versus the text of stories, graphic novels versus classical literature, and the like.
I feel like
funny-
Hazel has some anime opinions, but I don't know what they are because I don't have them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Willow has watched Cells at Work, and that's it.
And that was begrudgingly, I'm sure.
That was begrudgingly.
That was because it was
Willow
on in
does
the
have some extreme opinions on classical literature, though.
it was
Just
on
wait.
in the common room.
just
Yeah.
wait until the later levels when I could start making scrolls every day.
Oh God. Anyway, you guys sit around for a while shooting the shit. People kind of begin pouring in, carrying different bits and bobs and things. So I'll just keep your perception checks because you guys have been looking out for them. Around 7:30 or so, Jeva comes in her leather armor and things, sits down at a table and begins drinking some mead before starting to write in a little diary.
Before we begin questioning her, I would like to go to the bathroom.
Seems like a good time to do it.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm eating a bowl of stew. I assume
Nice.
there's stew.
Oh, I thought you meant in real life.
Oh no.
I mean, yeah, there is stew, but it's probably a meat stew.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I feel like vegetarianism might have to fall on the back burner at some point.
I mean, there's vegetables and stuff, like
There-
roasted veggies
I mean,
and things.
this world also doesn't have like factory farming, so
Yeah. But this
this
place,
cow was probably slaughtered like a mile and a half away.
yeah. It's hard to say. Where's bread and things? You could go vegetarian if you really tried, but
Stew smelled pretty good, though. Is the thing.
yeah, it's a real craving.
I mean, you can try and convince yourself it's just tofu.
Yeah, as long as you're not a vegan and losing your magic powers, you know. If anything, this is only strike one to my knowledge, unless Hazel had some like Alfredo at some point. And
I can't remember. I think they ate meat at some point. I don't think it's at the top of the priority list, you know?
yeah,
And like I said, it's just by nature it's going to be more ethical here anyway.
yeah, it's also true. Eventually, well, I guess Hazel really could be a vegetarian if they just cast Goodberry every day.
Yeah, true.
It'd be a real sad life eating a single, like
Sad existence.
like a berry for your sustenance for a day, every day.
But it is convenient.
It is convenient.
Completely organic.
100%. Well, is it though? Because it's magic.
I mean, in the sense of it was grown without any chemicals.
I think magic's the strongest chemical of all. All Kaede's prestidigitation is MSG.
Yep, 100%.
All of Ash's cleaning prestidigitations are just Lysol and Windex.
Spray, 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 wipe, wipe, wipe.
What are we doing?
None of us actually
Waiting
have
for
magic. It's just stuff
Jordan
that
to
we've
get back.
brought over.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
Before
Really
they
quick.
start questioning Jeva.
Really quick. So I'm on the Artificer Alchemist page on D&D 5e wiki. I see the experimental elixir that I can do that has the option for healing. But I'm still trying to find the just the healing potions.
That's not an alchemist thing. It's 25 gold pieces and a day of work to make one healing potion.
Okay. Thank you.
That's just a thing you can do because you're proficient with alchemy tools, basically. And then that's something Hazel could do because they're proficient with an herbalism kit. Provided provided they can find the materials.
And then I have the painter's kit,
And then you have a painter's kit.
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, the experimental elixir is also something else you can do, Katrina. That's
Yes, which
alchemy
sounds
specific
super
for
fun
future.
that I want to give to.
Uh,
I'd like to try that out. Not today, because it goes away after a long rest.
I mean, but it lasts for 24 hours.
another thing I
You
could
get one a day,
suggest-
basically, Katrina. And then when you cast a alchemist, or you can use another one by expending a first level spell slot, and then you get another elixir, and you can choose the effect that time.
Oh, that's cool.
So every day you
Alright.
you
have
roll
time.
a d6, and you get one of that potion for free. And then you
Sweet.
can expend a level 1 spell slot to create whatever you choose of effect. Like you could choose a healing potion, swiftness, resilience, boldness, but you just lose a first level spell slot.
Oh, so that's how we're gonna heal. Okay.
I don't seem to have an herbalist kit. Should probably get
Probably
one of those while we're in
didn't
town.
Shopping.
Yeah, that too. I was also going to suggest if she didn't have proficiency with the painter's kit, if Kaede had proficiency with the disguise kit, because that would also make sense.
I mean, Kaede definitely cosplays, right?
Yeah, like that's
Well, you have like
The-
disguise self as a spell, right?
yeah.
So that's
but, like,
kind of the thing there.
she would still have the skill of
Yeah.
cosplay, not that she would actually
Yeah.
actively use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's too many proficiencies, though.
Yeah, I get it. I was just thinking about it the other day,
Yeah.
so I figured I'd talk to you about it.
I mean, the proficiency with the painter's kit makes much more sense because that's
Yeah.
more
agree.
what she does than the.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I got
cosplay,
one of
whatever.
those two. So, like, if I didn't have painters, I was gonna suggest disguise.
And
you know
then
what I mean?
and then the cosplay is also part of the performance thing.
Ah,
Cause,
okay, so that's what you would have me roll for. Okay, that makes sense.
if you were to try to do something like that, yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people do like dexterity, so that,
Well, a lot of
Hey, Cam, I
disguising
realize-
is acting stuff, though.
yeah.
I realized we're using the alternative weight rules. Are we caring about money for weight?
Yes.
Right.
So that's 50 gold pieces, 50 coins to a pound. Is the traditional weight there?
We
Is there
can
a-
put money on the
Is there a
burps.
bank?
I mean, you guys have you have a bedroom, you have probably a Foot Locker issued to you, but as for like a central banking system, no. Not that you guys are
I got
aware
it.
of.
We should invent banking in this universe, and then
Just
we'll
get
make $1 million in
super
this
rich.
universe. And then we'll go home with a bunch of gold, melt it down.
Doesn't change the weight.
Yeah, but if we bring like a lot of money, we could get enough money to be livable.
I mean,
and
we could just sell the gold
retire.
pieces. Like, I don't think we have to melt it down.
I'm just waiting for his mic to stop dying.
Oh, sorry.
I can't hear.
Consider
better?
yourself lucky. It's better now, yes. Anyway, alright, so everyone's back. Right? Everyone's here?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think so.
Okay. Alright. Jeva's sitting at a table writing in a diary, drinking. Kind of munching on some food. Some toast or something.
I'm gonna.
I don't even know who she is.
I nudge everybody and say, hey, Jeva's over there.
Maybe the rest of you should talk with her because she doesn't
Yes,
know Kaide.
I was typing. I apologize.
Is,
I mean, you could
Sorry.
probably come and meet her.
is there a way on Dice Cloud to so I could put an item away but not have it with me?
You can make a container and choose the container to not be carried.
Okay, thank you.
That's like I think for Jasper I have a room container, which is just all my garbage that I collect, and it just lives there.
Because I realize I don't want to carry my quarterstaff around with me, but I want to make sure I still have it. You know.
You can also just put that on the turkey.
I'm taking up a lot of space of rations on the turkey, so I'm just gonna leave it because I'm not gonna use it.
Oh, that's a good point. How many rations are on the turkey?
Quite a bit.
Oh, didn't we
open
just
the
have to
turkey.
eat a lot of them though?
Yeah. It's not like normal overland travel, you know, where you can.
There are 59 days of rations on the turkey.
Well, 59
Well, divided by 5.
divided by 5, and you were just traveling for 16 days. So
So there's probably nothing on the turkey currently.
There's probably nothing on
there's
the
probably
turkey.
nothing on the turkey in terms of rations.
Oh,
There
we're gonna
will
have to
need
just
to be
spend
something
all.
on the
We're just gonna have to
turkey
spend
again.
all of our money on rations then.
That being said, again, Hazel could do Goodberry once a day. Which is probably what you
Yeah.
had to resort to when you ran out of rations. But then they're down.
Yeah.
Then they're down a spell slot every day, also.
I can do the alchemy jug and give us water at least.
Mayonnaise.
That's cool.
You guys have been surviving on
I mean,
half a gallon
could
of
do
mayonnaise
honey.
apiece.
Wait. it's mayonnaise, so it's putting
not half a
texture,
gallon,
and then
Cameron.
we
It
have
is-
prestidigitation.
It
So it
is
tastes like
2 gallons of mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's half a gallon of mayonnaise apiece, isn't it? Or about
A little less,
a little
yeah.
less than.
Yeah.
So
and then you can make it taste like anything. That's might not be the healthiest food, but it's food.
it's
I
calories.
also have honey. Would we rather do honey?
Both would work. Honey would be better.
Honey feels
Yeah.
better.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Mayonnaise is more
We
filling,
live off
though.
honey and good berries.
Honey,
like it.
good berries, and the prestidigitation spell.
Oh, I'm gonna give me a second, because you guys might have like fucking scurvy right now.
Oh, that's gonna get so annoying if we've got to buy fucking fresh vegetables and.
I mean, that's what trail
I mean,
rations are.
I'm pretty sure
I was gonna say, we
Goodberry
had rations for a
specifies that
bit.
it gives you the nutrients
Yeah.
you need.
A good berry is a guaranteed full health, but then again, that's Hazel blowing a spell slot every day. So
What would happen
So-
if you ate nothing but honey?
well, considering honey has 0% of your daily value of anything in a serving, a tablespoon. It's only 64 calories for a tablespoon. You'd probably die.
Probably.
No vitamin C, no calcium, no
Well-
iron, no B6, no magnesium, no fiber, a little bit of potassium, a little tiny bit of sodium.
I mean, really, we need the jug just for water.
Yeah.
Like,
Would we though? Like, I could take spells. I'm pretty sure there's a cantrip that I have.
for create water?
I have all the cantrips. I have
I
every
just
single
thought create
cantrip.
water was like a actual higher level spell.
Well, there's create and control water, then there's shape water, which is the cantrip. And that's, I think, a first or second level spell to create and destroy water. As for mayonnaise,
Yeah,
also,
it is because I'm looking at it and I have it.
basically a little bit better because it has some salt in it
And fat.
and
About it.
potassium and yeah, a little bit of fat. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Hazel had been blowing a first level spell slot after you guys ran out of rations. Otherwise, you'd be super fucking sick.
Yep.
That being said, 1 cup of mayonnaise is 1,440 calories.
Oh no, it's not, Cameron. It wouldn't be a tablespoon of honey. It would be like a little less than a quart of honey.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I'm saying 1 tablespoon of honey has no nutrients in it. Blowing something up that's nothing to a bigger amount is still zero. Yeah.
Honey is just nothing but sugar.
Yeah.
Yes, but at least it's 4,000 calories.
Yeah, we'd get energy, but we'd get killed because our heart would stop beating.
Sometimes
all can
I love
die.
D&D. Sometimes D&D makes me consider the, like, physiological ramifications of eating only mayonnaise for weeks on end, and then I hate it.
Okay, so you guys would be eating about half a gallon of mayonnaise apiece if you were eating the full amount that we had established. There are about 23,920 calories in a gallon of mayonnaise. So you guys would be eating like
that.
10,000 calories of mayo.
So we're super fat too.
Yeah. You guys should probably buy some trail rations.
Yeah, we could do trail rations.
Yeah, I'll get some rations. How much are rations?
Well, you're not
But we
shopping
don't
right
have
now.
to worry about water.
You don't have to worry about water. Anyway, Jeva's sitting at the table writing in her diary.
Excuse me, Jeva.
She kind of looks up and she's like, "Oh, Willow, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello." She shuts her book.
Hi. We heard about we saw the reposting of the professor quest. Just wondering if you had more information about it. I heard that it got kind of like sketchy.
She's like, "Yeah, I had to return that one for not my own opinions, but Marcel, he seemed to think that there was a ghost or something, and he was not.
Oh, so he's superstitious.
He was not okay with that. So, I mean, I can't blame him, but things are strange and whatnot. He said that furniture and stuff would move when we were scouting out the castle, and there was slime and goo left over various surfaces and things, and everything he said pointed to it being a ghost.
Green
And
slime.
he decided that that's one thing that he would not mess with is the unrestful dead. So he almost forcibly convinced me to come back and return the quest, and he has went and take a vacation to de-stress for a little while. So I was forced to return to Gilbert, and
So he-
Okay.
Did you also see the slime in the moved chairs and stuff, or was
Real
that
quick
just
question.
mistelling?
Before we continue, how many of us have watched the Ghost Hunter television shows? Because we can actually have done that before.
Hey, Ghost,
Yeah,
it's me,
Hazel-
your boy.
Hazel definitely watches those.
I'm pretty sure Oakley definitely watches those
There is
too.
zero doubt in my
Willow
mind.
absolutely does not.
No. No, Willow knows about ghost
Watches
stories.
HGTV.
And
Willow watches the news.
Hyades
Willow
watched a
watches the
spin-off
news.
anime about it, but never the original thing.
Plenty of ghost anime out there.
Ash has probably worked in places that were supposedly haunted.
Absolutely, yeah, probably.
Willow knows the psychology of what's going on in your brain when you think you have a
You
haunting.
think you have a haunting. And she kind of goes,
Also, who was Marcel?
"Oh, he's just a member of the hunters."
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was somebody that mattered or
No,
not.
so Java decided to go on this mission with to get away from Flane for a little while.
Okay.
Fair.
She's cheating
And
on
we see
her.
how that turned out.
Yeah. Yeah. And she kind of says, I mean, it's an old building. Rain could have got in there. It's a little bit of algae and slime. Old
Yeah.
furniture, it falls, it crashes. Things happen. but I wasn't going to go on a mission solo, and my pride is uninjured in this because I know the truth.
Mhm.
Anyway, how are you all have been now that you've been fully initiated? Returned just back from mission, I assume.
Oh yep. We took the one that was 2 seconds. Oh, that's evil. I
The
don't need to be
terrible
evil
wizard.
at the moment. Yeah. The wizard one.
Oh, that one. I wasn't
The
aware of.
kidnapping.
I didn't know about that one. I was gone while it was put up. Must have been gone while it was put up.
Oh, probably.
Tell me about it.
He
What happened?
sucked.
Oh.
So, definitely a magical being. Probably not wizard. After the first portion of the fight, he like dismantled into a whole bunch of other not right creatures. Like there were some fish that like
Yeah, those were some messed up fish.
fucked us up.
He was made of fish?
Fish, bugs.
I don't know if he was made of them, but he turned into them.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Oh,
he
fish and
he dropped his
disgusting.
cloak and just no, it
Yeah,
was
and like
not a good
rats and
time.
stuff. It was
Oh,
gross.
Yeah.
Ew. Just gross. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very sorry
Yeah, he
that
was
you
like
had
a
to deal
creepy
with that
kidnapper, dude.
for your first mission. But congratulations, you all made it back. And
Yeah.
I don't think we've met. Hello. She reached out her hand towards Kaede. I'm Jeva.
Oh, I'm Kaede.
Pleasure. Reaches.
And I'm Ash. Nice to meet you.
She shakes into your hands and she says, "You two seem very down to earth." Looks around compared to a lot of the people here.
They're respectful to say the
I
least.
kind of do a little snort when she says down to earth.
After like the first 2 minutes of Willow talking, Ash started reading his poetry book.
Yeah, Kaede was 100% drawing in the corner.
I mean,
Definitely got caught off guard and was thankful that she went to go after Kaede first so that he could put on his customer service face.
to be polite. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Anything else I can help you with? I've got some things to attend to still."
Oh, no, we're good.
No,
Thank
we'll leave
you.
you be.
Appreciate it.
And she gets back. She says, "Thank you. I'm getting back to writing in her little diary, her little book." All right. What are you guys doing?
Does a spooky haunted
Well, it's
castle
night
with
now.
green slime remind us of any stories in particular besides most scary stories in a castle?
It's a very hard trope to try to nail down. So not really. No.
Cool.
Willow would have seen Ghostbusters, and that's the one she mentions.
You
I
gotta
ain't
call
afraid no ghosts.
Ghosts.
I don't think that's a fable. But it's not
That is-
fantastic source of media for ghosts. But
It
It's
has
excellent
Not
representation.
traditionally considered a fairy tale.
We may have an issue.
We may have an issue.
Okay, so we're gonna need it's 2 gold apiece for rations for a day of rations, or sorry, 2 pounds apiece for a day of rations. So there's 5 of us, or 4 of us. 5? How many?
5.
I can't count.
5.
5. So we're gonna need 5 a day. So that's 10 pounds a day. We have 40 pounds available in the turkey before it starts getting slower.
Wait.
We had them on there before.
Yeah,
Not
we
enough.
How
had
do we do it then?
60 pounds on the turkey just a moment ago. I took some off.
Let me take a look at that.
Pretty sure it was slow.
Well, that doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it was in the second degree of slowness, but that was fine.
Yeah. As long as it's under 240.
Okay.
That's the limit. Where
Okay. Are the turkeys just faster? than
Yeah,
us?
well they're just you have to think your birds are also carrying you guys
Okay.
And our stuff.
and all of your stuff.
Okay.
So
So it just has to be under the 240.
yeah, because then it can't move at a reasonable enough speed to fly.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that, because I was thinking, because like we're gonna need probably a month's worth of rations whenever we leave somewhere.
To be on the safe side, yeah.
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 That's without
We-
trying to make do and scavenge whatever island you stop on for a day or two.
That's 300 pounds.
I
I
mean,
mean, we'll
we
probably
can
just
just-
have to supplement some with good berries.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is we can just whittle it down to 240 and just do good berries on the lean days.
Yeah.
Like I said, you also can try to stop and
Scavenge for
Scavenge
food
for
on smaller
food.
islands.
yeah,
Would that be a nature check,
survival.
right? Survival? Oh. Well, that's fine.
Okay. Do we stop on like when we're flying? Do we like stop on a random island?
Basically,
To go
whenever
Well, for
it's
sleeping.
basically whenever the sun begins setting or it begins starting to get closer to dusk, you guys kind of set up on whatever piece of land that is sizable enough for you all to camp out on. Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them are just kind of small,
Okay.
floating, glorified boulders, basically.
So then on those days, could we have a choice of like rolling to find food?
On
I
the
don't know if
on the
we'll do that
larger
every
island, you
day.
could, yeah. So it's not like a necessarily an everyday thing, but yeah. Those would be days where you could try to roll to
There
find
can be
food.
days when we can scavenge. There can be days when we could berry if we need to.
Yeah.
There can be mayonnaise days.
Ugh.
I don't want mayonnaise days.
Prestidigitation and make it taste like a pudding. Boom.
I don't care how it tastes. I'll know what it is.
You can change the color, just don't think about it. I feel like this is a conversation that happened at some point.
I'll know what it is, though. I'm not gonna let myself eat mayonnaise for a day.
Hey, what if I make it sparkly? Like, come on. This is
No,
like
Kaide, I know that it's mayonnaise.
Hazel is so tired. Like, I don't think she wants to cast Goodberry for a 5th day in a row.
Please,
No.
my spell slots.
You're gonna get them back when you go to sleep, Hazel. How can any of you be okay with just eating mayonnaise?
Who said I was okay
whatever.
with just eating mayonnaise?
I
Just
don't
'cause
know
it's
about
my
Kaede,
jug.
but we're Americans.
Kaede is so down with it. She is like, I can
Wait.
make it taste like whatever the fuck I want.
Kade is picturing the other mayonnaise. Kade's not picturing American mayonnaise.
It's probably true.
What other mayonnaise are you talking about?
The
Is
Japanese mayonnaise.
different?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever knew that.
I mean, it's
What do
the
they make
same.
it with?
It's the same, like, kind of thing. It's just
Like, it's still a condiment made out of eggs and oil,
I mean, the
right?
difference
Yeah.
is it's only egg yolks. That's
Yeah.
That's the only difference
In America or in Japan?
in Japan. America
Japan.
uses
Okay.
the whole egg.
I can see that making a drastic difference in mayo, though.
I mean, I don't though, because it's just
Like,
an
it's
emotion.
still gonna like you would taste it. It's
I mean,
still gonna
yeah.
taste like mayo.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like it's still mayo either way.
Yeah,
It's-
but I could see it being like if you're somebody
Oh.
who's Japanese and ate American
It
mayo,
tastes a
you'd
little
be
bit
like,
different,
this is
yeah.
fucking disgusting. You know what I mean?
It's tinier
Yeah.
and sweeter than American. It's a little bit thicker and creamier. Regardless, though, it's still eating mayo. It's still eating raw egg yolk and oil, basically.
and MSG
And
in
MSG.
Japanese mayo.
It would taste different, but it wouldn't be.
It would still be
super
mayo.
off.
And it's still be mayo. Also,
It'd still be made.
it doesn't matter either way if you're prestidigitating it to taste like chocolate
Whatever.
pudding or whatever. So
I feel like
Yeah.
she changes it too. Like she'll like take a few bites of chocolate pudding and then cast it again.
you get that
I mean, she
chocolate
could make
pudding
it taste like
aftertaste.
anything. Isn't like Japan's little sweets thing? Like they have every different kind, so you could come up with just random flavors.
And she does. And it's wild.
Anyway,
Just one day you're eating buffalo chicken flavored mayonnaise.
you're all sitting at the
So
table
I feel like
after
for
talking
definitely night.
with Jeva and going, oh shit, our turkey can't. So we need to figure out this food situation. And Ash just
Okay, see you
pounds
later,
his
Gemma,
hands on the
thanks.
table and goes, "No mayo."
I refuse to eat only mayo for a day. I
What
don't
does
think that's too
Malcolm
much
do?
to ask.
Yes, you'll try your best.
I mean, you guys are at another table, and she just kind of looks over like, I thought they were normal.
No, mayo. She's like, I just said he was down to earth. Like,
Listen, I feel like, to be fair,
Now he's
if I
squirting
have
about
to shout
mayonnaise.
no mayo, it's probably more reflective on the people I'm sitting with.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right.
glitter and
Gemma
mayonnaise
doesn't know that.
itself.
Anyway,
I mean, she knows the rest of you, so...
yeah, but Java's like, oh,
We're
they're
the more chill people around here.
yeah. Hazel's fixed like the broken chairs and things, and Willow's just pouted and been disgruntled.
Yes.
He has in fact
Generally.
been the exact as the other people.
And yeah, Oakley's just been a drunk.
Oakley's definitely been the rowdy one.
Yeah, been the rowdy one, smashing tables and things. All right, you guys have this discussion, and the night begins winding down. It's probably 10, 11 o'clock at this point. People are heading up to go to bed and things, to their individual rooms. What are you guys doing?
That. Probably.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think I want to talk to. I walk up to Willa and I'm like, "You make magic stuff, right?"
I can. I'm learning. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got like that pitcher that pours the mayonnaise. Seems to hold like way more mayonnaise than the pitcher can hold.
Yes.
Do you think you could do that with a bag?
So yes, I do have that open right now.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
not.
like, isn't this a thing?
It's one of the artificer.
Well, what the
things, but I can't.
alchemy jug does is it produces it 2 gallons per minute, up to 2 gallons per minute.
Yeah, I'm not like I Jordan know that.
I'm saying this is more. I'm saying this more for Willow also.
Oh, okay.
It's not physically storing it; it's creating it as you pour it out, kinda.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
think Kaede necessarily knows exactly how that works.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of like taking those two concepts and being like, "We're having an issue with storage. Could you make something like that?"
So,
And
so we could
so
store more mayo.
to- I can definitely work on that. I have a few things in the air that I'm trying to figure out. You know, New World, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But I have some ideas. I just need to get them to go into fruition. And
Well,
back to Cameron, that's one of like the known, like that's one of the artificer infusions that I can do, but I can't do that yet because I haven't leveled up and changed my known infusions.
You
right?
haven't really encountered any sort of magic that's extra dimensional yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the lookout for something like that, you'd need to find some way to do it, basically.
Like if we found one in the shop, she could study it and then
Or
like,
if she found someone who could do like a rope trick or something.
okay.
Like some sort of magic or something that kind of
Well-
coalesces on that kind of thing, on the extra dimensional space.
Willa, I'm pretty adept at magic, and I remember almost everything the school taught me. So if you need any help, let me know, and I'm sure I could lend some aid.
Yay, bonding time. I would love that.
Because
Well,
I'm
is
pretty
that
sure
my
rope
character
tricks.
or no?
already?
Yeah, that was in character. Because I'm pretty sure rope trick and dimensional stuff are spells I could learn.
Yes,
And then
you,
help
you
her
could learn
craft.
rope trick. Yes, it's I believe it's a second level spell.
Yeah, rope trick. Yep.
It's also an artificer spell.
Yeah.
But she needs to
Okay.
she needs to at this point in time kind of pick spells that are
I can.
are more
yeah.
alchemy themed because you don't have a ton of experience outside of that realm yet.
Yeah, I totally get
Kinda
that.
thing,
I
so-
just figured it should happen
Yeah.
in character like that. That's kind of.
If you get access to it, or one of you as casters has access to a spell that's similar in regards to the things that you could make Katrina, you all could definitely work together to try to learn the different
Aspects. of it.
aspects of it, the different infusions and things. 'cause-
Willow is a quick read.
Yes.
Cool. That's awesome.
Like if you could.
Something we could all work together towards,
Yeah.
you know. Like if I on a level up picked a spell that enabled us to, you know.
Exactly, like
Like Mary Poppins.
like rope trick makes sense also for if like a rope of climbing, or you do detect magic, you could help her with the wand of magic detection kind of thing. If you knew water breathing, Kappa water breathing. I want to probably play a little bit looser with the infusions known and just kind of use when you learn them as more of a, this is one where you can pick something that isn't necessarily related specifically to a spell, because reasons. Because you only learn them every so many levels, kind of thing. But if you spend downtime or whatever working together to develop infusions, that's definitely a thing you could do. So, anyway, after a brief chat with Willow, everyone heads up. After a brief chat with Willow. After everyone else heads up and a brief chat with Willow, Kaede and them head off to sleep for the night, to wake up in the morning to discuss their plans of action.
Well,
Alright, do some
I
shopping.
need to get an herbalist kit. I need to get my rations. And then, I don't know if I say this part out loud, but I'd like to try to find like a community theater or something where I could go take in a theater-like experience.
I'm pretty sure that's something you've actually encountered already. I think you've looked for.
I couldn't
street
remember if I had
performers.
or if I did the fortune teller instead.
I think you've done both. So, yeah, you could definitely try to see if there's some sort of a community play being put on or some sort of street performance kind of thing. So Hazel's going to go.
Today, right?
What was that?
Oh, just checking with the group. We're not leaving today. I can, like, make a potion, right? We're good?
Yeah, today's in
Yeah,
the
I
city.
think, I think today's a free day. But, do we want to take that job now and, like, confirm it? The
Oh, that's a
spooky
good
job?
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
Okay. One of you grabs the paper and you head upstairs to Gilbert after eating your breakfast, and he is still writing away in his ledger after he calls you in for a very brief moment before he finally shuts it, sees the flyer in your hand, and says, you talked to Jeva? I see.
Yes, sir.
And he says, all right, well, you guys are still newbies, and this is a little bit higher, tougher quest than you're ranked for, but depending on how it goes, we'll see what happens. Best of luck to all of you.
Thank you.
And he kind of says, don't have a waystone for you this time, unfortunately. Jeva talked to the man and actually brought him in town. He's staying at an inn a couple streets over, and he'll guide you where you need to go. Good luck.
Do you have the name?
Yes, the man's name is Malcolm. If you stop there, you can talk to him. He's at the Leaky Tap.
I'm doing it, Katrina.
So, do you guys plan on heading out?
Leaky Tap sounds like a dive bar.
Do you guys plan on heading out today, or will you be a little while?
Probably a day or two.
Probably not today.
Oh, he's like, fantastic, because I have some errands for you all to run for me.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Oh no, we're the low men on the totem pole.
Yeah, you are.
And
the fucking
also-
interns.
Based on what we know of Gilbert's opinion, though, maybe the ones he trusts to actually get the shit done.
He kind of looks and he's like, if you guys wouldn't have came in here today, I would have had to call up Flayn or someone. And she probably would have tried to ditch this off on you anyway, so might as well give it to you myself. And he hands you.
Absolutely wild that we the D&D like player party are the like non-rowdy bunch,
Level-headed
like the
ones in the
trustworthy
room.
ones.
He says, I've got a few things for you to take care of. You'll probably be out doing your own shopping and stuff. He kind of shuffles. I don't know what shuffling is, but he does it through his desk.
He does it.
It's shuffling and ruffling at the same time. He shuffles through his desk drawers before pulling out a small strip of scrap parchment and begins writing down a couple things. He's like, okay, first thing I need you to do is we've requested some potion ingredients from Bee's Greens that I need picked up. I need this ledger delivered to the church. I need some items picked up from. I have this written down on a different sheet from Leia's
No,
Magical
1 second, guys.
Emporium.
Everyone's heading out now. If you
More
want to-
red wine.
What was that, Jordan?
More red wine.
I need a special order of liquor picked up. So he kind of writes down a few things, and he says some general groceries, and he kind of sits there for a second, and he kind of thinks. He kind of says, looks at Hazel, and he goes, "You've been going through and fixing a lot of our broken furniture. Are we running low on hardware, screws and things? Better pick some up just in case. Nails, screws, replacement boards, and lamp oil." He kind of writes down this kind of grocery list of things that he's requested. And hands you, I don't know who, because none of you are very strong looking, probably.
I am. I take out my hand.
And he hands you this kind of hefty leather-bound book, and he's like, "This is the ledger of jobs." Thump. This is what we've been filling out and keeping track of things. Every now and again it needs updated and copies made, brought to the church for them to transcribe and keep track of for tax purposes. So you guys are out doing your own shopping and things. You can probably take care of this. You haven't been in town much, so it's a good opportunity for you to get a lay of the land anyway.
How much does it look like it weigh?
Willow moves it to her like
The-
right side, just one-handing it,
The book's probably like
and
10, 15 pounds altogether.
Okay.
That's fine.
Large
I
and
wanna-
heavy books specifically must feel just so natural, right?
Yeah.
exactly.
Kaede's gonna be like, I actually wanted to talk to some of the people at the church. I can take that with me if you'd like. And she's gonna cast Mage Hand.
Rude.
It's 10 pounds, so like.
Okay.
We're all gonna have to get rations and stuff. Did we want to start out
Just-
together and then branch off?
Well, I figured that's a lot of.
Barely. Light enough. It's still early morning, but
Yeah.
just
And a lot
barely.
of these are gonna just be
enough
like
for
from a
me.
general market or something,
Yeah, the groceries and things.
which we got to go to anyway for rations.
Yes. Give me a second.
Because I'm just kind of curious about the church.
I need to find my binder.
You could come with. I just know Kaede wants to specifically go to the church. So she's offering to carry it and take it if other people don't necessarily want to.
Hey,
Oh, you
I
can definitely
hold
carry
it.
the book. That's fine. I
I-
don't care about that.
Willow would like to hold the book.
It's a comfort item.
It's comforting.
I put.
I was like, okay. I shrug. I'm like, okay. And Jasper crawls out from under my hat and then climbs into my mage hand. And it's just floating, like, kind of behind me, sitting on top of my mage hand.
Willow proceeds to go back to cradling the book.
There's now a floating large spider being carried in a ethereal spectral hand several feet next to Kaede.
I'm sure that's not freaking anyone out.
No, not at all.
Gilbert kind of looks at it and he goes, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
anyway. He kind of
Sorry,
says,
I was gone for a sec. Were we splitting up all the errands among people?
that's up to you.
Well,
'Cause
I was
it's-
thinking a lot of this is just going to come from like a general market or something, which we're all going to need to go to anyway for rations. So I was thinking we can start off together and just branch off, you know.
Yeah, I'm down for us all.
That sounds
Get
good.
them rolling together.
Rico
bring
says-
Was
it's
all of this
like-
like prepaid for it, or like do we have to pay for the lamp oil ourselves?
he's given you a small allowance.
Okay, cool.
For the things that aren't
I
pre-ordered.
assume pretty much almost exactly the amount we need for all the things.
For the food and stuff, he all in all, that's really what he gives you the money for. Everything else is kind of prepaid for: the potion ingredients, the stuff from the Magic Emporium,
I would imagine they have
And-
like standing accounts
and
with
the
most of
wine
these
and stuff.
places.
Yeah, for the most part, that's part of what the ledger and things are for, to keep track of everyone's accounts and whatnot. So
I am intrigued of the Magic Emporium as someone who doesn't know this town very well, so I'd be down to go there.
All right. Well, what do we want to do first? Just a regular market to start with, or
Sure,
church
that sounds great.
first,
Well,
or
we should do the small errands first, because once we get to the market, we're gonna have to lug all the rations around.
We'll probably drop off the ledger.
are we bringing the turkey with us? Oh, but then somebody will have
Honestly?
to handle it when we split off.
Yeah. So I think we should. That's why I think we should like split up and then reconvene at a certain time at the general place.
Okay. Yeah, that
So
makes
that
sense.
way, when we're done, the last thing we
We
get
do
are the
our
rations and the
bulky
supplies.
shopping last.
Yeah.
The DM
None
is
of us
rolling
are super
dice in the
strong.
Discord, and I don't like it.
None of us are super strong, so we're gonna have to. I don't want to have to
Excuse
lug
you.
all that stuff. Hey, I don't know. She doesn't think you're strong. I'm kidding.
All right. Fine then, Willow.
Willow
You're
is
you're
small.
the one that's gonna be lifting all the hardwood for
Okay,
the
feel
chairs,
free to-
because
Feel free to carry all 200 pounds of rations.
Yeah.
I can carry some of that.
yeah, for the rations alone, we should bring the turkey to the market.
How far away is
That
the
sounds
market?
like we're gonna slaughter the
Do
turkey.
we know?
that's something you guys would have seen. And the market's like a 10-15 minute walk probably to where most of the grocers are.
This
So
little
we could
turkey went to market.
conceivably take the turkey, bring it back, and then go do the rest of the shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I mean, yeah, it's not that far away. I was thinking just using the turkey as a beast of burden for a lot of the heavy things.
That
Yeah,
being said, if
but-
it's not flying, you can still do you can go over 240, I believe. Let me take a look at the.
I was just thinking of somebody having to handle it all day in the city.
Yeah, if you go over 240, it would take a while to walk
We
the
could
turkey
drop
back,
straws.
but you could then go up to 480.
Like, I'm
I
going to the
mean-
theater. I think they would frown upon me bringing a turkey with me.
Yeah, so let's just get the bulky supplies with the turkey, bring it back, unload it, and then we can go off and
And
do
then we can do the
different-
rest.
And
Yeah.
plus that gives Willa extra time with the nice heavy book.
Exactly.
Nice heavy book. All right.
Hefty.
So the first thing you're doing is you're getting the groceries, you're getting the nails, you're getting
The hardwood.
that kind
I
of
would think
stuff.
the lamp,
Lamp
oil,
oil.
probably,
The oil,
and then
yeah.
our rations.
And then we
Uh,
could split up for the magic item, the
Yeah.
ledger.
Everyone who's, I guess all of you are going to the market at this point to kind of help carry stuff or whatever. to get the groceries and things. Roll me some perception checks.
Did you have that ready to go, Katrina?
I was prepared. I figured we would have to do a perception check.
You were
Oh, man.
correct.
Hurt to only
Now
roll
that we're not
13.
playing evil, I can actually beat Katrina in perception checks, and it doesn't feel right. Gotta be honest.
I know, right? All right. So, Willow, Ash, and Hazel, as you guys are kind of walking to the market, grabbing various root vegetables and tomatoes and the sort, some nice fresh pumpkins that are beginning to come in season and things. You three notice a kind of tucked away off in this kind of a side alley, this very lush kind of window, not window trellis. I don't know the best way to say it. Planter, window
Like
planter.
window planter?
A planter, yeah. Just full of this kind of lush green bushes and flowers and things. There's some climbing ivy up, kind of over this kind of dusty, so dusty it's almost kind of frosted over front window, and you notice that it is labeled Bee Screens.
Oh, hey, we need to go there.
B-E-A-S, B-E-A''S, Greens.
And we walk in, and B. Arthur is running it.
So what are you guys doing?
Go there
Okay.
to get the stuff.
I mean,
Um,
only three of you
I-
You have
noticed
to
it.
request potion ingredients.
I
Oh,
snap
oh.
my fingers and I point over there. I'm like, hey guys, the potion ingredients place is over here. You want to split
Yeah,
now?
I definitely
or-
want to get up in the plant building.
Okay, do you guys want to stop there, and the rest of us can go finish the
Oh,
main supply?
I mean, if Willow is gonna help us get the rest of the bulky things,
well,
we should
that's why
probably
we have the turkey.
Okay. Alright, Willow, we release you from your duties. You can get the potion ingredients and then go to the theater.
I don't want to go to the theater.
I'm the one
Yeah,
going
I'm
to
sorry.
the theater.
We still
I'm
all have to
Hazel.
meet up, but this
And
is just
also
all
I
in the
didn't
same
say that.
area, right?
Yeah,
Alright, I meant Hazel. I flipped it into my head.
it's,
So they should just
That's
Names.
okay.
it's basically
they
down a
should just
side
get-
street.
Yeah, they should just get the potions and then come find us in the market so we could stay
Yeah.
together while getting those stuff.
Yeah, I keep the book.
Okay. Yeah, it's a comfort item. All right, so Ash, or not Ash, Willow and Hazel are heading into B Screens, and everyone else is kind of milling about the general goods area or whatever, buying assorted food items. So, or I keep saying, normally I keep saying Ash. Hazel and Willow, you walk into
too many-
this kind of a little cramped, but it's not cramped because the space is small. It's cramped because the space is full. And the space is just full of flowering plants everywhere. Like gardenias, hydrangeas, hyacinths, just a beautiful climbing trellis of roses off to the side. It's humid and it's very warm in here. You can kind of see off to
We
the
walked into a giant rainforest.
you can kinda
made
see-
out of,
off to the side. There's a pot of water boiling over a low flame, just kind of steaming, making this entire environment very humid and damp. And you see one woman going around very meticulously with a small pair of cutters, clipping off leaves that have wilted ever so slightly. Brown hair kind of tied back in a very messy bun with a hairband, glasses, kind of squinting closely, catching the leaves before she turns and notices you as you guys enter the building, and she says, "Oh, hello, I am B. Welcome to my shop. Are you looking for anything in particular today?"
We're actually here for ingredients. For the please insert the name of our guild
The
here.
hunters.
The Hunters Guild?
And she kind of goes, "Oh, yes. You two must be new members then. I don't believe
Yes.
I've seen you around before, and normally they send the newbies my way and everyone else's way and make them do all the lifting, and most of them say that it was not their choice. They were kind of loft off on it on their own, which
We were voluntold.
voluntold. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Flane's a real character, always trying to send the people, the newbies, after doing her chores.
Oh, not even this time.
Oh, not even. Oh. Gilbert must have caught you before Flane could pass the buck. Anyway,
Yes. ma'am.
I'll be right back. She kind of steps into a back room and comes out with this kind of crate of assorted dried leaves and roots and things. And she says, these are the ingredients they requested for some potion making and things. May I?
So would you...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask Hazel if she could, if they could hold the book while I grab the crate, because it looks a little bit bigger than the book.
Yes, I hold the book.
It's very heavy. It's like a very thick, dense college textbook.
War and Peace.
And I don't get the same comfort from it. To me,
No.
it just feels like a heavy book.
It feels like anxiety. So be kind. She says, if you don't mind me asking, what are your two words? What are both of your affiliations within the Hunters?
Marianne.
Marianne. And
I don't remember, Cameron. It's Archimedes, the owl.
Marta.
Marta. Marta. Marta.
Oh, and she says, "Oh, so, you're the wild type then," kind of gesturing at Hazel, and you're more of the quizzical, smart type then. Well, if either of you need any ingredients for experiments or comforts, teas, that sorts of things, we have a variety of dried and fresh goods for sale, in addition to potted plants and seedlings, saplings, and the sort.
Oh, I
Do
see
you have an
that you're
herbalist kit for
pruning.
sale?
She says, not a normal request. Most people don't bother with the fancy things, but yeah, I do. I have a couple set up for myself and anyone who might want one. She kind of comes back with a small box full of little vials and tweezers, plant shears, mortar and pestle, and the like. And she says, getting into herbalism.
Yeah, seems like a useful thing to be able to do on the road.
And she says, collecting ingredients is always exciting. A few of my samples I have around here were my own travels back in the day. But I decided to settle down and set up shop here. Plenty of people bring in interesting things for me to grow and play with from time to time, and I'll purchase them if I find them interesting enough. Anyway, 5 gold pieces for the herbalism kit, and the dried ingredients are taken care of in the account. If you need any for your own personal mixtures or usage, we do sell the ingredients per potion, 25 gold pieces a piece, for individual usage if you would like, but if not, that's understandable. Is there anything else I can help you with, dears?
I'm all
Missed
set.
the price. Yeah.
25 gold pieces.
Dope. Thank you, Cameron.
Uh,
Actually, I would love that. 25 gold, you say, for ingredients?
Yes, for it'll be the ingredients for 1 potion.
Perfect.
And she kind of comes back with what you have in is a big box of ingredients, probably about 20 or so's potions worth, and she comes back with kind of a small wrapped kind of bundle of the basics. There's a few different roots and leaves, a couple seed pods and the like. And she hands it to you after taking your money, taking your gold. And she says, well, for all your plant-based needs, go ahead. You know where we are now, and I'm sure we'll have a wonderful relationship. Before you go, if you wouldn't mind me asking your names.
Willow.
I'm sorry,
Pleasure.
I'm Hazel.
Willow and Hazel at the plant shop. What a coincidence. And she says, I guess it's funny, though, that my parents named me Bee, and I'm a bit obsessed with flowers. She kind of like gets a chuckle to herself before she goes over and
You were buzzing all over the place.
cuts two little blooms off of a couple plants. She has a big blue hydrangea flower to hazel stem and all, and a very very delicate kind of yellow rose over to Willow. And she says, compliments of the gardener for a future relationship, I'm sure.
Like chuck the stem into my wooden bracer thing, and then I summon. I think I named him Oscar in the end, and his tail is that same blue hydrangea.
Ah, so you kind of summon out Oscar, and he kind of climbs up your arm and nuzzles you, and the big blue hydrangea kind of swashing around, kind of in front of her face, and she kind of chuckles and gives him a little bit of a scritch.
It's very silly.
And she says, "Oh, isn't that delightful?" But I do have some plants to attend to still before she gets back to very meticulously cutting off damaged parts of the plants and tying and supporting them before you leave and meet back up with the rest of the group.
Quick question. Willow would know about flower language, right?
Willow, probably not. I don't see that being something she's necessarily interested in.
Hazel definitely does.
I could definitely see Hazel knowing more.
Especially
about
with it being, like, historical.
Yeah. If Hazel would like to make a nature check, for the meaning of the things.
Oh, I only got 9. I can't remember those ones.
No, those are kind of escaping you at the moment as to what they mean. But they're nice looking flowers. You all.
Hey Cameron, just so I can get it done before I forget, how much money are my rations going to cost me?
A trail ration. Give me a moment. A trail ration costs.
I just want to adjust that before I forget, so I know how much money I have.
Scroll. Rations 1 day is 5 silver pieces for 1 day of rations.
Buy 3 weeks of rations.
So that'd be 11.5 gold pieces. Thereabouts.
So 11 gold, 5 silver?
Yeah. I mean, if you're getting, like, exactly 3 weeks, that's what, 21 days? So that'd be 10, it'd be 10.5, sorry. 10 gold, 1 silver for 3 weeks. Alright, you guys finish up your grocery shopping, for the most part. I'm assuming you're just immediately taking it back and dropping off the food and hardware and things.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
potion
Yeah, I think
ingredients
so.
and such.
I
And
assume
my
we got the
potion
lamp
ingredients,
oil
yeah.
here.
Yeah, lamp oil, the hardware, that kind of stuff. He probably spent like half an hour in the.
Did we get the liquor or no?
No, that's a special order from somewhere. You'll have to go find.
Okay.
Cross things off my list that I wrote down. Okay, so what are you guys doing now? It's still probably pretty early morning, 11 o'clock or so at the latest.
We've got Ledger, Magic Emporium, Liquor.
And did we get our... Sorry, I think you might have said it and I might have just zoned out for a sec. Did we get our own personal rations?
Yeah, if you guys were buying your rations now, would probably be when you would want to do it. Just for ease of
Okay.
access. So we could say you went and dropped the stuff off, went back, and bought your personal stuff. So
Cool.
3 weeks of
We'll drop that
rations
off.
is 10 gold and 5 silver.
That's just what I personally got.
Yeah, if that's what you want. It's
That feels about
It's
right.
5 silver pieces a day, basically.
Okay, so Katie and I were going to go to church.
Katie and Hazel going
I
to
was-
the church.
I think Willow too, because she doesn't
Yeah.
want to drop the book.
Did you want to carry
Yeah,
the book?
Willow
I
has
would
the
like
book
to
again.
again.
I was interested in the Magic Emporium.
So we still have the special order of liquor.
Yes.
Do we want to?
I'm not going to lie, I was assuming Oakley was going to go for that one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
Oakley, any thoughts? He's looking at Discord. I can see him. Jordan,
What?
do you want to go pick up the liquor?
Sure.
Ash is going to the Magic Emporium. The rest of us are going to the church.
Okay.
Thanks, Oak.
Thanks for all your real active things. It really makes me feel great and real engaged.
As soon as she walks away, I go, "Is she high or something?"
Maybe.
I think constantly.
Okay.
Anyway. So, 3 of you are going to the church, right?
Or is it
Yeah.
they? My bad, not she. My bad.
So Willow, Kaede, and Hazel going to the church.
I think Oakley has she her pronouns.
then-
Hazel
Wait,
has.
somebody has they them, and I'm always
Hazel-
getting
Hazel has they
confused
them.
between Hazel and Oakley. Okay, it's Hazel.
Hazel's
Okay.
they then.
Yeah.
Yes.
My bad. Sorry.
Let's just start at the top of Discord and work our way down. So that'll be Magic Emporium, church, wine, me, church. But sorry, Trina, you don't get the church again. Anyway, all right. I would like an investigation check, Ash, for you to find the place first of all.
Okay, make sure I'm back into gameplay.
You ask around a little bit, and a few people are kind of like, just kind of give you like a, what's this guy looking for this
Trevor, you
place
got a
for?
fan going or something?
I mean, if people are like too weird about it, I'm just like, hey, I'm part of the Hunters Guild.
Oh yeah, Jordan asked you if you had a fan or something going because there was noise.
Oh, sorry, that must just be my laptop because I have
Oh, the laptop.
my
fan.
normal.
Yeah, that
I have
happens.
my normal cooling pad off.
That happens. It happened last times too. So I figured it was something like that. Yeah, no, people just kind of like, oh, okay, you're in the Hunters Guild, and before a few people are like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't afford that kind of stuff. Before a few people direct you to this kind of black painted front of the building with a very large sign and kind of gold lettering in front. And that just says, this is Leia's Magic Emporium. And you can kind of see into, through the windows of the front, that there's several stands with glass cases over the different goods and stuff in the store. You walk inside, and you see behind a counter a woman. She seems to be a little stressed, for lack of a better term, or anxious, sitting, just kind of tapping a quill on the counter, looking down at a book in front of her. You notice that there's different books of all sorts of sizes and shapes, kind of lining a tall, kind of a bookshelf that's kind of around the top part of the room. And she's just kind of sitting in front of one of the books with a piece of paper to her side, tapping a quill, looking quizzically before you come inside. And she says, "Oh, hello. Welcome to Leia's Magic Emporium. How can I help you?"
I'm here as part of the Hunters Guild. Come to pick up an order. You know, newbie, intern job, all that jazz.
Oh, yes, of course. Just give me a moment. I'll be right back. She steps around into a small storeroom somewhere in the back, and you can kind of hear her rustling around, opening various crates and chests and things. Make a perception check. You look around and you kind of examine. 3, 4, 5. Give me 1 second. You kind of examine a few of the different things in the cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Roll me 3d15.
Oh boy. Okay.
Combination I'm not sure if we've ever rolled before.
It's a weird one.
3d15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's one of them. Okay, I'm glad you saw that one. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14. Alright, so a couple things kind of catch your eye as you're going through. One just looks like a very fine piece of china with a very elaborate kind of geometric circle, kind of glazed and painted on the top. It's like a large serving platter in size, basically. Kind of around the edges, there's small paintings of various little bits of fruit, some grapes and apples and things. Another thing that catches your eye is a very small vial, probably about inch, maybe 2 tall, with a dropper, like a squeeze dropper on the top. And you can see a kind of very thick liquid inside. And the other thing you notice is what looks to be a series of feathers that have been kind of formed and molded together in this very delicate white light bracelet. A few minutes pass, and the Leia comes back with a couple chunks of wood, for lack of a better term, with the ends wrapped in fabric. And she says, the account has been taken care of. Here's the delivery. And she kind of sees you kind of peering over a couple of these different things, and she says, curious?
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have a lot of interesting things in here that are, well, I mean, I've spent the most of the morning looking over root vegetables, so this is all very exciting in comparison.
She kind of chuckles and says, "Yeah, I have the husband do the food shopping. It's not my thing." And she kind of goes and she says, "This bracelet right here will protect you from falling from great heights. Once, unfortunately, it'll fall apart after cushioning a great fall, but it's a pretty popular one for
Spring Hill Jack.
the adventurous."
Does seem definitely useful, and the line of work?
And she kind of says, chuckle a little bit. Yep. I have to make a lot of those. And she kind of looks and saw you kind of eyeing the dish from before, and she looks and she says, this one's not as popular, but it's what I like to call a discerning dish. It is mostly used by nobility and stuff when they're worried of poisonings and the like. It'll determine whether or not something is toxic to consume or if it's good to eat or not. Unfortunately, the magic inside of it only allows this property to activate 3 times before the dish completely crumbles. And as for that little bottle I saw you looking at when you came in, that's what we call sovereign glue. It's very popular purchase for many homeowners and people trying to repair their personal goods. It's a little bit dangerous, which is why we also sell, and she kind of points off to the side, universal solvent. That one's price varies depending a little bit on the situation. Had one person who couldn't make it through the door and needed some, charged him a little bit extra. But she's like, go ahead.
If I may ask, what was he stuck to and where?
He may have got his hand stuck to a 2x4, a piece of wood. Then he was getting ready to attach to fix part of his home. And so he had quite the struggle making it to the shop to yell at me to unstick him. He claimed it was my fault, that I didn't warn him, and I told him anything that you stick with this will get stuck together. And he tried to blame me, and I made him pay the asshole tax, as it were. So.
Don't I understand it? God, they just never listen, do they?
Oh,
Sorry.
Never.
I've had my fair share of the job. Anyway, sorry, what are the prices for these? I don't know if I'll get any of them right now, but I travel with a group, and I want to talk with them and see if any of them think it'd be useful.
Well, the glue is 100 gold pieces for a bottle, and that'll give you a couple different uses. The dish, we charge a little bit more just because of mostly the clientele who want it. That's 250 gold pieces. As for the bracelet, I make quite a few of these. That's 200. But feel free to browse and look around a little bit more if you would like. There's plenty of things about. And she kind of gestures to the other cases that are kind of lined up around her shop.
Well, I did have a question, but not necessarily about the cases. Those books, did you write them all, or did you get them somewhere, or are any of them for sale?
She kind of looks, she's like, oh no, that's a little bit of a personal collection. Reference materials and the like. I have certain, I have certain things you need to know in this business to make things. It's very, very difficult, to work and whatnot, but mostly reference materials. Every now and again, I get some people from your society, your guild, mostly Martas, if you will, come in asking to peruse and pay to copy some of the reference materials down, but that's a little bit expensive, because I find if they have access to my spells and knowledge and things, that's a returning customer gone away.
That makes sense. Sorry for asking. I guess I'm looking more for like a bookstore, like somewhere where I could get local stories, poems, myths, that sort of thing. Bit of a fan.
Oh, you're a literature.
Yeah.
And she kind of sits and she's like, I'm not much one for fiction, unfortunately. But I know there's a few different stores around town that you could find, but not my cup of tea particularly.
Fair enough. Well,
Yes,
in
freeze
that case,
that
is
tree
there
up.
any other little things that you might suggest to a relatively new group of adventurers, or
What she kind of says is she's like, well, it really depends on what you're into. Um, so
right now I think we're gonna go to a haunted castle. So you got anything that's good against ghost, like a vacuum or something?
vacuum?
Ah, sorry. Joke from where I'm from.
Oh,
I heard that. I heard
Okay.
Jordan's laugh.
um,
Weird people.
she kind of sits there. She's like, I'm not too familiar with ghosts in the thing, but if you're really looking to set the mood, we sell. This is. She kind of sits there for a second and kind of sighs
Wait, sorry,
to
did
herself.
she hear that I went
We've
to a
got
haunted
this-
castle and she thinks
Listen,
of
we've
bringing
got
a
this
date?
board.
No, she kind of sits there for a second and goes, if you're going for the real experience, and you want something to be a little bit spookier, this was named by my husband, unfortunately. And she kind of goes over to this kind of tall black candle. This is the cantle.
Cantle?
This is the cantle.
Is
Instead
it a candle that can't?
instead of emitting light, it emits darkness. One-time use, unless you dispel it with magic. Surrounds itself with darkness. It's mostly a getaway tool, and it's what I've heard people use it for. Can't see through it. Magical, non-magical light doesn't penetrate the darkness. It's basically a black void in space. I've got some general use things. Can turn the tide of battle in favor whenever you want. And she kind of gestures to a small, kind of marble-sized green stone. She says, "This is a stone of good fortune. People say that with its magic, it can change the tide of fate a little bit, and turn devastating attacks in your favor before it shatters and absorbs your bad luck. That one there is 500 gold pieces. The cantle is 100. If you're looking for general protection," she kind of gestures to this, probably it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long scale, and she says, this is what we refer to as a dragon scale. It's not real dragon scale. No one's seen dragons in a very long time. Porcelain. If you break it, it'll toughen your skin for a few hours until you lay down and take a rest. Until you take a sleep for the night.
I don't know, man. The last time I heard that dragons haven't existed for a long time, they came back real quick.
And
I'm looking at you, Dragon Age.
she kind of looks in. She
I was
says,
thinking Skyrim.
this is the other thing if you're looking to go on a horror excursion. This is what I refer to as a tentacle pot. And it's this little glass jar with this kind of inky black ichor inside, a cork-stopped top with a wax seal, and you can kind of see it undulating and bobbing up and down, kind of like a ferrofluid and magnet almost, just kind of wiggling and oozing. She says, you toss this, you break it, summons tentacles and the like, for a period of time. A little bit dangerous if you're not careful. 250 gold pieces for that. I know Flane is a big proponent of this, and she kind of gestures to a kind of well-carved arrow with some filigree and stuff along the shaft. She says, this is the splitting shot arrow. You fire it, and it will unleash a barrage of arrows in front of you. That one is 300 gold pieces. Quite dangerous, also. If someone is bothering you and is speaking too much, I sell chimes of interruption. It's just a set of wind chimes, basically hanging on a hook with a little, I guess, hammer. Is the best way to describe it. And she says, all you have to do is strike these chimes, and they will make focusing and speaking nearly impossible for the next minute within 30 feet of them. But as for anything, as for
You ever use them on unruly customers?
no, it's a little too expensive for me to justify destroying one of my products for one unruly customer when I can just call the guards and get them kicked out, or my husband, depending.
You could use that to
Fair enough.
stop a wizard. Or a spellcaster that needs to pay his spells or whatever.
So that's what I have to take care of ghosts. I don't think they imagine they need to sleep or walk, so that gets rid of a couple of the things we have. You're probably not breathing underwater, so that gets rid of one thing.
Probably not.
And
Sorry, how much were the chimes of interruption, just in case?
100 gold pieces.
Thank you.
And the last thing is, if you're trying to, I guess, stalk the ghost, I can sell you an Iroh. And she kind of gestures to another arrow.
Oh, what?
An Iroh.
Oh.
She kind of gestures to another arrow in a case, and on this one, kind of where you'd notch the arrow into your bowstring, there's a marble ending with a little cut in it or whatever, so you can still notch the bow, decorated like an eyeball. And then as you kind of look at it, you can kind of see it wiggle and twist and turn and look around as the orb rotates. And she says, shoot this arrow and you can focus and see whatever the eye would see for an hour afterwards. It's a pretty popular one for subterfuge and spying and the like. That one was also named by my husband.
Seems like your husband really appreciates puns.
My husband doesn't appreciate how badly it is for business.
And how much does this Iroh cost?
The Iroh is 100 gold pieces.
Wonderful. Alright, well, I will talk with my companions, and I'm sure we'll be back at some point to pick up at least a couple items.
And she says, I look forward to meeting them. May I ask your name?
Oh, yes, my name is Ash Derovo.
Pleasure to meet you, Ash.
And a pleasure to meet you, Layla, I'm presuming?
Leia, yes.
Or Leia, sorry, misheard.
Yes. Have a wonderful day, and I'm sure we'll get to know each other quite well if you stay around town. All right.
I'm looking forward to it. And then Ash picks up the sticks that shouldn't be that heavy and tries very hard not to look like he's struggling.
Yep. Carrying a bunch of sticks. They just look like sticks to
He's
you.
definitely trying to use the excuse of like, it's just awkwardly sized.
Yeah, it's hard to carry in a bundle and things. Ash really just needs to start juggling, and he'll do much better. This is just sort of related. I heard a statistic that 30% of people can juggle, and 75% of people hate jugglers. So, 5% of the people who can juggle hate themselves. I feel like that number is more than that, but who would hate themselves because they juggle.
Yeah.
All right. So while you're shopping, we'll go to the people looking for the church. Roll some investigation checks. Without a problem. You guys
From across town.
you kind of look up and see what basically it's like, that's a very churchy
I hear a-
spire.
I hear a bell ringing and just follow the
You
sound.
hear a bell ringing.
Giant building that basically says church.
That basically Is that stained glass I see in the distance? So you make your way to the church. Large stone building, very gothic in nature. Buttresses, stained glass, very, very solemn exterior. Kind of grays and black tiles and things.
Well, that explains why that's not so easy.
You step inside, and there's a few people kind of milling about, talking quietly to each other in the corners. Some people lying in pews. There's stained glass depicting birds with riders who you identify as the 4 different saints in various poses and things. And at the very far end of the cathedral, you see a woman sitting in a wooden chair reading a picture book to a group of about 20 or so children. Behind her, a large stained glass window of a woman in a flowing white gown with icy blue eyes and platinum hair kind of flowing in the wind with bits of what you can only assume to be islands kind of rising up behind her from the ground. And what are you guys doing?
I definitely want to go find like a somebody who looks in charge.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was like something that looked like an office or something.
Roll some perception checks if you're just kind of looking around, getting more of the lay of the land.
On fire for finding
Man,
things
Kaede
tonight.
can't see shit today.
Kaede's
I've not rolled double-digit perception all night.
Kaede's been distracted with all
That's
the pretty
okay.
colors.
Hazel
and
sees
things.
Trying.
everything.
Yeah.
She's
Kaede
like
is
started sketching the church.
That's
Yeah,
what it
exactly.
feels like to be Sariel.
doing sketches of the
Yes.
church and stained glass and things. You kind of look around and you can see that there's a stairway leading upwards in the back and off to the side where you can kind of assume where the habits and other offices might be. There's a few sisters and people in kind of plain white robes, scrubbing, cleaning about. No one who seems to be really any sort of major authority doing that kind of thing. But
Well, I'm gonna find somebody in robes and be like, "Excuse me."
one of the person kind of scrubbing the floor kind of looks up and says, "Sorry, can I help you?"
A few things. We're here to deliver this ledger. Or did we already do that? We didn't do that yet, right?
That's why you're there
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, we're here to deliver this ledger, and I would like to talk about possibly hiring a cleric.
The guy kind of looks and he says, "Hiring a cleric? For what? Do you need a ceremony or something done? A wedding, perhaps, or funeral?"
No, more to like heal us and, get rid of ghosts and shit.
He kind of looks at you
Oh, the
and
language.
Church Kaede.
She's using D&D knowledge.
she kind of looks, the guy kind of looks, she goes, "Unfortunately, we don't really do that kind of thing here, for the most part. As for delivering, the ledger, Sister Lenore up there can help you take care of that. She's in charge of the church library and, the like. She's probably almost done reading, very shortly, as they get back to scrubbing kind of the pillar and or kind of scrubbing some spots off the floor in their mop bucket. Yeah.
I like the idea that Kaede thought this was just like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd like to recruit you. 200 gold pieces.
Exactly. Isn't that how it
Recruits.
should work? And then we get an NPC that heals us and shit.
But always misses.
Honestly, it seems like it would be out of our price range anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure how wealthy you guys are at the moment. But
Hey, she can give it a
Most
shot.
of the items at the magic shop would have bankrupted any one of us.
Or maybe she
To the
takes
best
a
of my
or maybe she takes a quest. We can go on a quest for him, come back, talk to him. He'll be wanting to follow us. You know.
suddenly willing to sacrifice
have-
their life for you.
Have you lost any pets or anything that we could take care of for
Is
you?
your mother's
can go
amulet
collect, like,
somewhere
10
in an
apples.
ancient crypt?
I need 50 sticks and 10 iron ore, please. Anyway. So what are you guys
Do we
doing?
need do we need any components?
I am going to go up to the front and sit down near the children and patiently wait while holding the book.
Are you reading the book? Or are you...
It's just the ledger.
yeah, it's the ledger, the deed of like who did what, how
I'm
much
reading
they
the
paid.
book.
You are?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I thought Sariel, or not Sariel, wrong campaign. Willow just wanted story time.
Willow is... Sariel would
Also
want
thought
story
that for a
time.
second.
Willow, on the other hand, is like children's tales. March
Yeah.
1st. Flame. 100 gold pieces. Minus. Destroyed client's house.
Willow.
March 15th.
What Willow is doing is she is gathering information on the people that she works with.
She's learning about everyone's financial situation.
Yes.
It's on quest.
Arguably a greater skill than whatever this children's book is.
Whatever.
Probably got a lesson on being nice to people, so on and so forth.
Whatever Bible story.
I'll
this
be able to
is.
tell you in a
Yeah, yeah,
minute because I'm gonna listen to the story time.
So, you guys kind of arrive up at the front of the cathedral, right at the climax of this story. And is Willow, or is Kaede looking at it? It is a picture book.
Start reading it.
Start reading the picture book. Grr. If you're back at the end of the children, you're kind of too far away to see what the book is saying to read the words, but the woman is in fact reading the pictures, or reading the book to the children, and she kind of sits there. Pages turned open, and she says, "And then Saint Ash's arrow pierced the demon's heart." Reading.
As I start listening to her talk to the story, I'm gonna listen for like a little bit, and then I'm gonna start drawing the events in air as it happens, using just
Minor
minor
illusion.
illusion and just stuff like that, just to make it like kind of come to life.
Unfortunately, you're behind
She's
all the
adding special
children,
effects.
so she kind of looks up and sees you and kind of gives out a small little chuckle. Before she says, "The Saint Ash's arrow pierced the demon's frozen heart, and as it did, her body became as if it was ice, solid, and you could see this very dramatic shot of an arrow flying into a woman dressed in cold blues, almost as if the dress is made out of feathers and icicles that just kind of sparkle. And then the next page is the arrow hitting her in the chest in a very dramatic fallback pose, and her hands starting to cover in this blue ice as she turns the page. And then Ash, returning to get his lucky favorite arrow, ripped it from her heart, frozen heart, shattering her into a million pieces, blowing into the wind like snow. The arrow getting ripped out, and the statue just breaking like glass before it getting taken away, kind of in a swirl of drawn wind, basically, off into the distance. Page turn. The village saved from the evil demon's wrath. Ash returned home to his loving family before setting out on another grand adventure. Him sitting sitting at his home, picking up his children, twirling and whatnot. Before the book kind of shuts and the kids kind of clamber up and stand up and begin talking to each other and emulating the story. One little kid going, "Phew! Got you!" and one kid going, "Ugh!" before standing perfectly still like a frozen statue. And all the little kids kind of run away out back through the habit, through the hallway leading to the habit and the other parts of the things before she shuts the book.
Cameron, have I gotten past Flame
Well,
and for damages?
it's not by person, it's by date. So no, you haven't gotten past Flame because there's always another Flame. That being said, you do notice she does
Did
bring
a lot of shit on March 5th.
I spent a lot of shit on March 5th. You do see that she does, in fact, bring in enough money to cover her damages. Barely. But it is a profit. So... Jeva is also along for a lot of the quests with Flame. And... does not have the penalties. But instead... a lot of things written as donation... community donation, volunteer work, after every single tragedy of Flames.
It was just going behind cleaning up.
It's going behind cleaning up, basically. The woman, she's wearing kind of a white robe, kind of a gray kind of apron in her front, habit. Very kind face, black hair. Shuts the book and comes over and says, if you were going to try to entertain me so much, you could have tried to help. You could have done it for the children. And she kind of laughs and kind of chuckles and sees the massive book that Willow is reading and says, is that the ledger from the Hunters?
Yes, ma'am, it is, and I close it promptly and hand it over.
She kind of says, "Oh, well, thank you. I didn't think it'd be that interesting as a piece of literature." She kind of chuckles to herself and
You never know who you're working with.
very deftly lifts it in a hand, in an arm that seems well accustomed to the weight of heavy tomes. And she says,
Willow is impressed.
"Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Sister Lenore. I'm the librarian here, and I also help take care of the children in my free time. I assume you are all the new hunters." And she kind of looks over and she says, "You must be Willow. And you, Hazel?" And then, kind of at Kaede, and she says, I don't know who you are. I haven't heard about you yet."
I'm Kaede.
"Oh, it's a pleasure."
Not Oakley.
Sister Lenore.
I show her the sketch of the church that I did.
She kind of looks at it. She's like, "Oh, this is a very wonderful thing. Talented art is something that's very hard to come by nowadays. But most people aren't invested in it as heavily as others. Literature and the like is a wayfaring art. People are too busy with modern problems and hustling and bustling and things. It's understandable. People have much harder lives than I do here at the church, and it's very unfortunate." Anyway, is there anything else I can help you find folks with? If not, I have some organizing to do in the library, and I have to go get this to some of my scribes to start getting copied over into our version. You can tell Gilbert we'll give it back to him in the usual about a week or so. We'll have it ready for pickup.
Wonderful, thank you.
And she says, "No, thank you all very much." Before she kind of turns and walks her way back towards, presumably, the library.
Is the library something that you have to be affiliated with the church to be able to enjoy, or is it free for all?
She kind of sits there and she says, "It's not open to the public, although we do have some close relations with various organizations and the such, i.e., the Hunters, your guild, and a few other private entities that, in exchange for certain donations and assistance, they are allowed access to, with approval from within the with approval from within their organization, and then my approval also finally. So unfortunately, to my knowledge, you don't have those credentials yet, but
Oh, no,
you
was
do
not
seem
meaning
to
to
care
say
quite
that, but-
heavily about books.
yeah,
So,
I am fond.
yes, but most of our literature are historical records, land purchases, taxes, and the like. Obviously, and the usual religious texts, but if you would want the religious text, you can just come to the sermon and get the gist of those yourself. But yes, no.
Nothing quite like reading from the book, but I do understand. Yes.
And she says, "Oh, I know. It's just something delightful and peaceable about being hidden away in a nook, reading my candlelight well into the evening. But certain things need protected, and it is our duty here at the church to protect certain things: children, official records and documents, times of crisis, the general public, and the like." Anyway, you all have a lovely evening. And you, Kaede, I believe you said your name was, if you decide to stop by again and it happens to be story time, feel free to stand up behind me and start doing what you were doing. The children will love it.
Yeah, definitely.
And she kind of gives a very, very gentle, kind of shallow bow before she says goodbye and walks away. Very soft pitter-patter of her footsteps.
Guys, I miss books so much. Anywho,
lastly, I guess what are you guys doing now? Are you heading just back to meet up, probably, unless you have more business in the church?
Go find the theater.
All right, Hazel's going to go to the theater.
Assuming it's still a time of day when that makes sense.
Yeah, it's mid-afternoon, probably at this point, evening, getting on evening.
Maybe catch a matinee.
Maybe catch a matinee, yeah. Hazel, you know the way to the theater. You've been there before. Willow, Kaede, do you have any more business in the church, or are you just heading back to base?
I'm just head back.
heading back to base.
All right. So you two head up.
Decidedly not going to the church, or decidedly not going to the theater.
That tracks. So you guys head back, meet up with Ash a few minutes later. He's probably there at this point.
Yeah. Although I did want to head back out and try and find a bookstore.
Okay. We'll take care of that after we get to Jordan picking up a bottle of wine. Assuming he unmutes himself and is paying attention to it being his time.
The kitchen right now.
Ah.
Babe, you hearing this?
I'm eating celery.
He's eating celery.
I didn't want crunching into the mic, sorry. I was paying attention, though. I would like to buy more than one bottle of wine, first of all.
Well, you're picking
up
for
an
the
order
guild.
of wine.
Oh, okay.
You could, in fact, buy more wine if you would like, but first I'd like an investigation check to see if you can find the bar that they're talking about.
Yeah, that tracks. No, I don't.
Ooh.
I will say that this is one you could make it with advantage.
Oakley knows their way around the bars.
Well, Oakley's been in the shitty part of town. Is really what it comes down to. Kind of looking around the upper middle, normal kind of part of town, main proper bit, you kind of realize that the bar you're looking for is written on the piece of paper, and with a name like the Monkey and the Imp, is not probably going to be found in amongst the normal folk. So you make your way to the slums, the bad part of town, which you've been in for a while, back and forth, before you make yourself into this very shady dive bar. The roof's kind of leaking. There's missing panels in the floor, cracked tables. The chair legs are the back of the chairs are broken off. It's ramshackle at best in terms of customer comforts. There is several dusty kegs of booze along the back wall, and different bottles of assorted strains, liquors, and wines and things, spirits.
So we get ours is very bottom shelf then.
Well, you're also picking up orders for people within the guild, kind of things. People placing orders, paying for them, and then having you guys go and take care of picking up the orders. For example, like Willow and Hazel, when they went to Bees, they were picking up 25, a dozen, however many I said, people's orders worth of materials themselves. You guys are just the runners, while other people are off on their own business, basically. Because you're the interns. You're on a coffee run, basically. Hey, head to Staples and get a ream of paper. Make a perception check.
Perceive.
Okay. You notice, carved inside one of the barrels. Are you in roll 20?
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably the easiest way to do this is, you notice carved onto one of the barrels,
Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
this shape, which you recognize
Steve's camp.
as Thieves' Camp, yep, meaning a fence.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
So this is kind of marked in on one of the barrels behind the barman. There's a few people kind of milling about, kind of giving you the side eye because you look kind of out of place here, in a way. You've never been here before, a new face,
Right.
drinking out of very dirty mugs and the like. So what do you do?
Honestly, I feel like picking a fight might be the best way to get them to like me. I guess I go up to the bar and I'm just like here to pick up an order for the hunters.
And he kind of looks you up and down. He says, "Fresh meat?"
Yeah. And I roll my eyes a little bit.
He kind of grunts, leans down, and pulls up a crate of about 6 or 7 wine bottles,
Nice.
and just kind of covered in a thin layer of dust for the most part. Says, "I've been waiting for someone to come pick these up."
Well, they just asked me to do it, so.
Anything else I can do for you?
How about how much are the bottles each?
You want the good stuff, or do you want the shitty stuff or the less shitty stuff?
Let's go with the shitty stuff.
He kind of looks. He says, "Well, I can sell you a shitty wine for 5 copper pieces for a bottle. It's basically grape juice that's gone. Grape juice that's
Fermented.
90% of the way to vinegar. 3 silver pieces, I can sell you a bottle of grape juice that's not vinegar yet. If you want some spirits, that's a little bit more expensive because it's just tastes like booze, and you put it in whatever you want to taste like booze. 5 silver pieces for a good bottle of that.
I will take a good bottle of spirits and a shitty bottle of wine.
All right, 5 silver, and 3 copper. 5 silver, 5 copper pieces. Make a perception check.
Yeah. I'd also like to attempt to not show off how much money I have on me. I'd like to, like...
Make a sleight of hand.
Yeah. That's not how you feel that. There we go.
Yep, you kind of reach into your pocket, count out yourself, judging mostly by size and weight, the proper amount of money, and toss it onto the table so we can't actually see how much cash you have. As you're kind of looking down for a moment at the counter, you notice one of the bottles of wine carved very lightly in the top of the cork is this symbol, which represents an informant.
Huh. I ask him, I say, alright, now that we've got this all done, is there any rumors? And I kind of like give him a wink you can tell me about?
He kind of sits there and he says, rumors? I don't deal with rumors. I deal with facts. If you want to deal with rumors, you talk to one of the people who gossip and spend all their time talking about others. I deal with true information, and only if you pay the right price.
I slip my hand into my pocket again and pull out 3 more silver and say, what kind of facts are we talking?
He says, facts of life, facts of family, facts of money, facts of interesting tidbits about the weather.
What about facts about interesting areas around town? Ones that are a bit more in the know?
Are you talking about a special order, or what do you mean by in the know? I'm in the know here. I just need to know what you need to know.
Black market.
You kind of hear for a second, so people kind of wince as you say that out loud.
Yeah, I physically notice they're wincing, and I go, and I give them a look like I was trying not to say it, but the dude wasn't taking my hints.
He says, you come around asking about things, you gotta be careful. Luckily, these guys in here are on the up and up. If you're looking for information about something, why don't you buy a bottle of the good stuff? He kind of gestures and says, 50 gold pieces if you ask the good question.
Oh, good question. Oh, good. Oh, fantastic.
If you're looking to sell me some interesting trinkets or baubles you find along your journey, I won't ask too many questions about that kind of thing. But I deal in orders, and that's about it. Trinkets and treasures I'll spend what I can on, and do what I can with, but I deal in truths and good questions. You come back
Alright.
with one of those, what you're looking for, something you're interested in. I can see what I can get on special order, but it's talking in the open, even if everyone in here I know. There's eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know the price. You know where I'm at. You come up with a good question and want some high quality liquor. That's on you.
Alright. Be seeing you around.
He says,
And then I take the stuff and leave, I guess.
okay. He says, I'll be seeing you. Better watch your tongue, though. You never know who's out there. So you shuffle out of the building with your bottles of wine.
You said that was 3 silver and 3 copper?
3 silver, 3 copper, yeah.
And
That's
did he take the 3 more silver for...
No, he left.
Information?
He left that
Okay.
down. That was more of an insult than anything.
I don't know.
Well,
I wasn't trying to whip out a bunch of gold.
yeah, you know now though.
Yeah.
It got you the information you wanted.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you need to want to go anywhere else, or no?
I think that I'll just head back to meet up with them.
Okay. Ash, make an investigation check to look for a bookstore.
Yeah, meanwhile, we go from Oakley trying to find the black market in town to Ash trying to find his local library.
Trying to find his local library, his local bookstore. They know where the library is. Well, I guess Ash doesn't. But you kind of ask around a little bit, and some people kind of go, well, I don't really read much, but there's one little place, and they kind of give you directions. It's just a couple streets over from B's place, and they direct you to Lily's Nook. It's a
What a lovely name.
It's a very cramped store. Unlike B's was, it's actually much smaller. There's basically, you walk in, there's a tall shelf of books to your left, a tall shelf of books to your right, and a few small stacks kind of dotting the floor. And sitting in a very large armchair in the back is this kind of elderly woman. Big, round-rimmed, thick glasses, kind of gray, frizzy hair, and she kind of says, oh, kind of sits up almost immediately, springs up. She says, welcome to Lily's Nook. I haven't seen you around here. I'm Lily, and you are, my dear?
Ash DeRovo. Pleasure to meet you, Lily.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't normally get too many young folks in here.
I've been told I have an old soul.
Well, I was told that when I was young too, and now my soul must be ancient. And she says, what kind of books are you interested in? She kind of looks you over and down. She kind of chuckles to herself. I'm not normally one to judge, but, horror?
I've read that a bit. I'm particularly fond of poetry, though.
Oh, and she says, poetry? Oh, that's, against my own heart. Not against my own heart, for my own heart. And she kind of goes, I have all sorts of collections of of poets and poetry and armchair poets who just want their works to get out in the world for other people to share. And she kind of goes over and gestures to one of the stacks of books, and she says, "This is all local poetry that I've collected over the years from different people. Some of it's better than others, but who am I to judge a young wanting author? I was
Do you have
there
any
once, so-"
recommendations out of the stack?
And she kind of sits there and she says, well, it's all independent and not super well-known authors, so I don't really want to try to clamber anyone above others, but this book I bought for 1 gold piece about a decade ago, and I must have misplaced it or something, because no one bought it, and I was very surprised. It's mostly love poetry and things of that sort. But it's a favorite of mine to read when I'm feeling a little lonely or want my old soul to feel a little tinge of youth again. She kind of chuckles to herself. This little tiny book, maybe 100 or so pages, kind of bound in a very soft leather with a needle point of a rose in the front.
Well, if it's a favorite of yours, I wouldn't want to take away a dear friend from you. I understand what it's like to become a...
And she kind of chuckles. She says, "Oh, no. You see, I am of the belief that literature and art should be spread out in the world, and that my job is simply to facilitate that spread, to pull things in from wanton authors and artists and give them good homes. And this one's been in my home for a while, and I think it's time it sees the light of day."
Fair enough, I can appreciate that. I used to work in a library myself, so I can understand the desire to share.
And she kind of chuckles. She says, "Oh, I'm glad to hear it. You truly are an old soul."
And I was also wondering, do you have any local stories, myths, legends, sorts of things like that?
She says, "Local? Not so much. We've got a couple different versions of the holy text, but that's..."
Well,
Less
I guess,
local.
sorry, let me redefine local. I was just imagining, like, folklore, not necessarily like a...
Oh, stories and myths and legends in the site. It's not necessarily
Yes,
from around.
yes.
She kind of sits there and she says, I do have a couple, but they're quite old and outdated, so they're a little more expensive and things. She kind of grabs a small step stool and climbs up and kind of gestures to. She's like, "These 3 books right here are probably the most what you're looking for, kind of things. If you're looking for children's stories and the like, if you're thinking of that as folklore, we do have those as well, but picture books and things can be expensive as well."
Alright, I'm gonna go for one of the older books that she suggested, and the love poetry book, and 2 more poetry books from the random local
Random
authors.
entries, and she kind of sits there and she says, well, we'll go 10 gold pieces for the older book. For the 3 local, we'll just call that 3 local, not my favorite. We'll just call that a gold piece in itself. And you've been such a dear, and seem to have such a love for books. I'll throw in that one for free, the last one. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so that's a total of 12 then, if I'm understanding correctly?
11.
11? Alright, great. Well, thank you so much, Lily.
And she says, "Not a problem, Mr. What's your last name? I forget.
Rovo.
DeRovo. Not a problem, Mr. DeRovo. Feel free to stop by. I'm home most of the day. reading and rereading. Just the evenings are a little bit more hit and miss. Sometimes I like to catch a show.
Fair enough. Well, I am certainly happy to have found this place, and I'm sure I'll be back again after I finish up these books. Maybe it looks like my team and I work with the Hunters Guild, and I'm part of a team.
It's delightful.
But
I don't get many local hunters around here. They've got a reputation for being a rowdy bunch, and this quiet little bookstore isn't really most of their scene.
yeah, I can understand that. But yes. Unfortunately, though, it looks like we'll be going on a mission that will leave us out in the field for a while. So it may be a while before I return, but I will do my best to return and slowly work my way through your stack of local poets.
Oh, delightful. If you find anything, books you find along the way, and I would say want to get rid of, but I know one lover of books to another, you probably wouldn't want to do that. But if for whatever reason you decide that you need to get rid of some literature that you find along the way, I'd be more than willing to see if I could purchase some of them back from you, or if you want to return these and I can buy them back for a little bit less than you bought them for, that's also an option. But we can cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, just enjoy the local art.
Why, thank you. And yeah, Ash uses that, he heads back, he tries to sneak into his room without seeing anyone else, and just start reading his books.
You did take 2 stops, so I'd like everyone else to make a perception check, and I'd like Ash to make a stealth check.
Uh-oh.
I'll wait.
Good news. My streak is done.
Did someone roll in? Oh, okay, you rolled stealth in notes, and Willow
Oh,
and
right.
Trina
I also did that
rolled
because Willow was there.
perception. And
Oops.
notes.
I saw Trina do it, and I was like,
Way to
Look
go.
My bad.
All right, so Willow and Kaede. Is Oakley going to make one also?
It's all up in my cheese.
Oh, he loves cheese slices.
All
All
up in my cheese.
You came through on our call.
All up in my cheese.
Coded
Everyone
CQ
loved
Co.
Coded Ikuko.
Cheese scammer.
Anyway, Oakley, are you gonna
cheese.
are you gonna look to see if you find Ash, or do you not give a shit?
Go last one.
I'm gonna go with if she doesn't give a shit. All right, Kaede, roll a
All right,
perception check.
Me?
No, Hazel or Oakley,
Oh.
because he's the only one who hasn't rolled one yet. Anyway, so as Ash is beginning to sneak in the door, Hazel and Kaede notice him with
Really?
with a stack. Oh no, not Hazel. Kaede and Willow. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Kaede and Willow notice him sneak into the door a little bit later than anyone else was. As I guess actually Hazel's probably still at the theater, to be fair. So Hazel's probably still not there yet. So Kaede and Oakley, or not Oakley, words. Kaede and Willow see Ash sneak in with a sling of books, kind of probably bound together with like a leather belt, trying to be as stealthy as possible as he begins trying to make his way upstairs.
Oh,
I feel like
Ash?
oh, hi, sorry, didn't see you there.
There's a library at the church.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean,
We're not allowed in it
Cool.
yet.
my purchase was worth it.
Yes, but eventually. So our guild has people that are allowed to go into it because it also has like important documents, but it also has some religious texts, and other books. You have books. Wonderful.
You have books,
If
wonderful.
we are able to possibly gain favor with the guild, we might be able to be let into the library at the church.
So what you're saying is that now I have a reason to do these missions beyond just having food.
Yes.
I can do missions, have food, and have books.
Exactly. And, eventually go home. But, pish posh.
Oh, I mean, sure, home. Yeah, home's great.
Go home.
Definitely want to go home.
Well-
Hey, speaking of having things, I went to the Magic Emporium, and there's a lot of things that could be had there. And then, yeah, I already put everything in the notes, but this is spreading player or character knowledge. So, if people are interested in Sovereign Glue, or Featherfall bracelets, or Tentacle Pots, or whatever else. The Iroh actually sounded kind of interesting.
Funny thing, I don't have Featherfall. So
We follow the
Kaya
fox.
be interested in a tentacle pot?
That's racist.
No, because hentai.
It's nothing to do with being Japanese.
Ace part.
That's,
You
that's the
anime.
racist
No,
part.
no, you like anime, though.
Just because they like anime
not-
doesn't mean they like hentai.
You don't know.
I mean, I don't know, Mr. DM. I've seen a lot of anime, and it gets close sometimes.
I mean, it gets close, but it depends on if Coyote's crossed that line.
I'm looking at
Pluto
you
has not
halfway.
seen
Let's be real, Kade.
You have crossed the line.
You've crossed the line.
All right. Are we good to go? Can I go to bed now?
Yeah, we're probably good to go.
All right.
How dare
Good
you
night.
go to bed?
Quickly,
Good night.
go.
Night.
Good night.
Walk
Good
very,
night,
very
Trina.
carefully and safely.
I meant mostly to get out of the chat before she got sucked